Now to sit back and enjoy the first of those. It's top flight action. Ross County up against Celtic with John Robertson and Paul Mitchell.
Thank you very much indeed, Kenny. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Dingwall. It's a little bit foggy, it's a little bit dull, but it will sparkle on the pitch, I'm sure of that. Ross County and Celtic going head to head. Ross County making 3 changes from the side that started against Hibs on Halloween. Jan Danda, Jordan White and George Harman all come in. Out go Turner, Brophy and Purrington. Celtic and that late comeback win against St Mirren. Half a dozen changes. Yang, Carter Vickers, Bernardo, Ralston and Maida all start this afternoon. Out go Johnson, Phillips, Palmer, Kyogo, O'Reilly and Forrest. Matt O'Reilly started every Scottish Premiership game this season, started everyone last season, but he misses out today. Our referee is David Munro. Third time he's taken charge of this fixture. 1 win for Ross County, the last time they beat Celtic back in 2021, and also a victory for Celtic last time out. He's engaged in conversation with Simon Murray. Celtic are in their huddle across to our left hand side. Ross County all in navy at the moment, slated to go from right to left. Celtic remain in that huddle. It breaks. Joe Hart picks up his bottle and his towel, and Celtic break up towards the halfway line. Jan Danda stands over the ball waiting to get ready to get us underway on a rather cold, miserable afternoon, but this football we hope will light things up. Ross County's 16th game of the season, and they're looking to get things moving. Celtic too, such a busy period for them underway here, and the ball is played back on to the skipper Baldwin. Baldwin launches it long onto that far side. Taylor just eases away Luturi. The ball is out of play. It's going to be a throw in to Celtic on that far side. Taylor throws the ball into Turnbull, clips it up towards the halfway line. Baldwin waits for it, sends it down towards Jordan White and Simon Murray. Simon Murray brings it down out wide onto Victor Luturi. Luturi tries to get the ball across, blocked by Taylor. The second cross comes in. Murray tried to go in there. White got the header just wide, couple of yards. Murray went up, but it came over his head. Jordan White in behind John Robertson and just couldn't direct the header on target.
I think he should score. That's an incredible chance. I mean, Celtic, caught sleeping there. It's a wonderful delivery from Lutari, and you're right, Simon Murray seemed to take the attention, but I think Jordan White will be a wee bit annoyed that perhaps that he didn't at least hit the target there.
Early chance for Ross County, who've led against Celtic in the last 9 matches for a total of 12 minutes. Early chance bypassed as they gather on that far side. Opportunity for Yang to drop the ball back onto McGregor. Here's Carter Vickers. Carter Vickers up and over the halfway line, looking ahead, making the run. Where's Ralston? They come back to Bernardo. Bernardo flicks it back to the halfway line to Carter Vickers. Back in the team inside onto Liam Scales. Scales centre circle inside his opponent's half. Turns, plays it back onto Carter Vickers. Murray will track down Scales as the ball went his way. Played out wide to Taylor. Taylor round the corner. Yang back towards the halfway line. Ross County, everybody back behind the ball inside their own half as Celtic gather again through Carter Vickers. Carter Vickers looks out wide. Maida is there. Maida takes a touch, tries to get away from Harman. Moving on the inside. Clips it back across onto Taylor. Yang's gone out wide. O's in the middle. He's being marked by Leak at the moment. Driving for the byline. Low cross in. Deflected. First corner of the afternoon. 2 minutes gone. It goes to Celtic.
Good response from Celtic there. They've got the ball moving now, settled down. For Pat in the studio, it's a 4-4-2. Danda is on the left, but it's Lutari on the right. And they're just passing people on. One of the strikers is dropping in to Cal McGregor, but good crisp passing there from Celtic.
Celtic have a corner from that far side. It's looped in high. Goalkeeper stays where he is, and it's headed away by Conor Randall. Ball comes out. It will be a throw-in to Celtic on this near side. Celtic going from left to right as we watch in the main stand here, the Global Energy Stadium in Dingwall. As Anthony Ralston comes on and gets the throw to Maida. Maida back onto Ralston, tries to get away from Danda. Low ball into the box, well dealt with though. Leak scoops it high in the air, headed back in by Bernardo. Always looking for it, away by Conor Randall. Against Celtic win the initial header, and then it's thumped clear by Scott Allardyce all the way through into Joe Hart, all in green this afternoon with the yellow boots. Plays it out wide. Another man wearing yellow boots. It's Liam Scales coming over the halfway line. Scales sends it forward looking for, turns, spins, pulls it out wide onto Maida, controls it brilliantly first time, driving at the edge of the box, cuts inside, tried to flick the ball past Danda, couldn't do so. Jordan White comes back to help, and the skipper Callum McGregor will gather. Comes back to Carter Vickers. Carter Vickers sends the ball out wide. Here's the opportunity for Celtic to build again. Yang looked good when he came off the bench, runs into Conor Randall. Bernardo tries to win the header. There was a jersey being pulled. It's the opportunity for Yang going through. He's into the box, gets a shooting opportunity, well blocked in the end. Ryan Leake having to go to the deck. John Robertson turn it behind for a corner.
Yeah, again, slick play from Celtic. You know, it's that little give and go. You're right, there was definitely a big handful of those jersey in the Ross County defenders there, but Dave Monroe allowed play to go on, and Celtic just cranking it up again.
Celtic have a corner. David Turnbull, second corner of the match, played 4 minutes. Turnbull plays the ball in, it's missed by everybody, and it comes out the box on the right hand side where Greg Taylor has scampered his way to. Taylor has it, plays a little ball into the box, looking again for the opportunity to get it back, gets it back from McGregor, back onto Taylor. Taylor sends it in deep. Yang heads the ball back in the middle, always fighting for it. It's touched in, and Liam Scales may have got the final touch, but the referee, I think, has seen a free kick, and that's what he's awarded. It won't count. Free kick to Ross County. Celtic thought they'd found the breakthrough, they haven't. 0-0.
Yeah, I don't think it was the first header. The first header comes back, I think, maybe just has a little tug. I'm sure VAR will check it, but I think the referee's right here. He just has a little tug. It's a wonderful finish, but I think this one was called very well.
David Monroe confident, gets his way. They will check it. Pat Bonner is in the studio for us this afternoon. And Pat, it's always interesting, Celtic getting off to a quick start. What did you make of that?
Yeah, it was a ball just played in. It looked as if he was up early. And you could argue that maybe his arm was on his back, and that sort of obviously caused the referee to say there was a foul. But other circumstances, you could argue that because he was up early, he had kind of almost vacated that space. And the defender, or I think it might have been White, was it? That was back for the corner, jumping with him. Actually, couldn't jump, and that so that's probably it. It will be checked. It'll be interesting to see the interpretation of the VAR situation.
Still taking their time. John Robertson, referee, standing chatting to Callum McGregor.
That's the worry. The longer it takes, you'd be more worried, Ross County, because if it's, as Pat said there, if he's up early, it may well be that they look at it and say, well, no, actually, he's not impacted the player. He's disallowed it.
The only sorry, John, for coming in again. There's only one thing that he might have missed the ball. He didn't make contact with the ball, and that might have been the situation that why they give the free kick against him.
So no goal. The referee's call on the field confirmed by VAR, and Celtic thought they were ahead, but it is 0-0. Randall plays the ball down the side, looking for Murray. Murray clips it on, trying to link up. Couldn't do so with James Brown. Celtic have it, pull it back to Cameron Carter Vickers, on to Ralston. Ralston at the edge of his area, back to Carter Vickers. Ross County full court press at the moment. And now they start to retreat as Celtic bring the ball out through Taylor. Taylor across, back into the middle, on to Carter Vickers. Carter Vickers looks ahead. Ross County just retreating to the centre circle. Carter Vickers looks ahead, Turnbull makes a move. Bernardo available to come out wide onto Maida, midway inside his opponent's half, driving towards the edge of the area. That's a great low ball in, touched back by outside the box it comes, and Harmon has to clear it. Murray gets his chest to the ball, but chests it straight onto Callum McGregor. McGregor inside onto Taylor. Taylor onto Carter Vickers. The fog is dissipated. It's like the picture's gone from single definition to high definition in front of us, and Callum McGregor can pull the ball wide. Might actually have a chance of seeing the Celtic numbers now, as the ball comes back inside onto Liam Scales. Scales gathers left hand side, pushes the ball through. There's a great little run from Taylor, touched away though, and Leighton in the free kick. Brown was heavy on Yang. It's a yellow card as well. He was trying to break into the area, and referee David Monroe, just metres away, didn't hesitate to book Brown.
No, it is a yellow, unfortunately. We've discussed this before, you know. Can the referee have a word with the player there and just say, look, calm down, it's early on in the match? You know, that's what I'd like to see, rather than a yellow card flashing. But it's interesting already. Celtic have got great width to the two wingers. Maeda on the right hand side has really, you know, given a problem already to Harmon. But what they do well is Taylor and Ralston underlap, and that was a perfect example there. Taylor burst in, it went to Iwata and he got brought down for the free kick.
Well, they're going to check VAR to see if this is going to be upgraded to a red card. Brown went in heavy on the tackle with Young. David Turnbull stands over the ball. It's a yard outside the box. Well, he's half that. Oh, now he's going to have a look at this. There's real trouble here for Ross County.
Yeah, again, we've not seen pictures, but you wonder serious foul play. The player's got up. There's been no treatment for the player, so you're wondering how heavy that challenge actually is.
Pat Bonner's in our Glasgow studio. Pat, what was your take?
Yeah, initially I was with John on it, and then when I seen the pictures, he was high, and he's caught him up in the shin, and he was late. He had no. The ball was well gone, and he's
it's a
caught
red
him.
card. It's a red card.
It's a red card.
100%.
It's right up on his shin, well above his ankle, and he's come in and he has made no attempt to pull out, and he missed the ball completely. So I think it'll be a red card.
Yeah, it's an ankle breaker all day long. I'll be very surprised if it's not upgraded.
5 teams in the Scottish Premiership haven't had a red card this season. That may be about to go to 4. Ross County look nervous. They've had Baldwin sent off, but that was in the League Cup. Referee comes back, wanders out. He's looking calm. He blows the whistle. He makes the sign of the screen, and he wants Brown over. James Brown is about to depart the field of play. Ross County are going to go down to 10. Brown comes across, accepting of his fate. Red card is out.
Red.
10 minutes played in Dingwall. Ross County are down to 10. Ross County 0, Celtic 0. Celtic will have a man advantage for 80 minutes.
Well, that's what VAR's there for. As I say, we've not seen any pictures, but both Pat and Leanne is the doyen of VAR. I take her word all the time. As soon as she said it's a red, it's a red. And it's not great for Ross County, but that's what VAR is there for.
No, it's a sore one, John. It is for Brown as well, because I don't think he's initially went to play the ball, but the point of contact, he's well above the ankle, his studs are showing, he's endangered the opponent, so it's ticked an awful lot of boxes for the referee to look at. In plain sight, similar to, Pat and I are looking at each other in the studio and thinking, just let the game play, you don't need a yellow card every time, but it's 100% a red.
Turnbull with a free kick, hits into the wall, comes back onto Turnbull. Celtic looking to add to the misery of Ross County, who are down to 10. Ball comes across, Bernardo's, the free kick was blocked onto Maida, that right hand side, Maida looking to press, turns it back inside onto Ralston. Hero the last time he started here, scored in the 97th minute for a winner. Carter Vickers now plays the ball on the inside, that's to Scales. It's going to be a long afternoon for Ross County now to see what the change will be. Randall will go to right back, I'm fairly sure of that. Here's Carter Vickers. Carter Vickers takes the touch, pass back inside onto Scales. Now on the inside, Scales will play the ball across to Turnbull on that left hand side. All the play to our right hand side. Carter Vickers looks to step up, passes the ball out wide onto Maida trying to get away from Harmon, round the corner onto Ralston got caught by Lattori there, and that is going to be a free kick. Malcolm Mackay not appreciative of that particular decision by the referee. Looked like from here he got it right.
Yeah, it's a clear foul. And this is the downside. I think one of the strikers may well have his afternoon ended early. Yep, it's Jordan White, unfortunately, and that's the double done. He needs to boost up, and Jordan's been sacrificed.
Ian Alders pitch side for us this afternoon. Ian, the change.
Yeah, Paul, Don Cowie and Malcolm Mackay turned straight to the bench after that red card. Jordan White, his afternoon is over, and on comes Will Nightingale.
How frustrating is that for a striker, John?
I know Jordan well. I had him at Inverness, and his attitude there was first rate. He comes off, he understands the situation, he understands it. He said that to the manager, he put his hands up and said, yeah, I get it, I totally get it. And
Celtic free kick. Scales tries to get the ball, it flicks down to him, hooks it over his shoulder. He wanted a free kick. The fourth official is getting an earful here at the moment. So it's going to be Laidlaw and goal. It's now going to be Nightingale, Baldwin, Leake and Harmon. Laturi, Randall will go in there. Harmon will come up one, Allardyce there, but without Jordan White, Simon Murray's going to have to play a fairly low furrow now.
Yeah, that's the danger. Dandal played just behind him. It looks as if County have gone to a back five. There's no doubt about that. It looks like it's a sort of 5-3-1 with Danda tasked to get forward. Harmon will get forward here, and even before the send-off, I was looking at Maeda absolutely ripped Harmon for pace, and he's got a problem. You know, I think this will help him because he'll be able to go tighter on Maeda and get a bit closer to him, because as a back four, he had a problem in Maeda could go wide, he could drive inside. Going to a back five will allow him to get a bit closer, may help him out.
Ross County have won a free kick just inside the Celtic half. I'll confirm the Celtic team for you in a moment or two. Such has been the start to this game. Here's Jan Danda, gets the ball, touched to him. Nightingale tries to go up, it's going to take a bounce and come out of play. So it's hard and goal for Celtic. Ralston, Carter Vickers, Scales and Taylor, Bernardo, McGregor and Turnbull, Maeda, O and Yang are the front three. And as I was going to call it a back three for Ross County, but John called it right, it's about five. They will start in that defensive set. At the moment, as Joe Hart has the ball inside his 6-yard box, touches away from Simon Murray, out wide it goes, clipped forward by Scales. Scales onto Taylor, 0-0 so far, but Celtic with that man advantage. Taylor across the halfway line, gets it on to Ralston. Ralston moves away from Murray. Murray shoves Ralston to the ground. Play on, says the referee. The ball was with Celtic. Callum McGregor can get it wide. It's on to Yang. Yang driving at the edge of the box, still going. Throws the ball past Turnbull. Gets it on to Taylor. Nightingale goes in, but he's going to lose out to Taylor. Taylor into the middle. Gets the touch, tries to come round. It's been turned behind. Goalkeeper was going to struggle to get that, and it's been touched behind. It's going to be another corner to Celtic as they rack up the pressure.
A great play from both the attack and defender there. It's a wonderful disguise turn by O. He's flicked it through his legs and caught the defender out, but he got back to it. He done really, really well there. I think it was Leake to get back and knock it out, because looked like he was going to try and toe poke it past Monroe.
Looks lively. Corner comes in, the header by Carter Vickers. That may come off his shoulder, goes behind. Yeah, took his goal. I mean, it was a terrific goal from Celtic to win it 2-1. You know, Keogh had a good game involved in the move home as well. But he took the goal with such confidence. He didn't take the goal like somebody who'd been sitting on the bench and just coming off for a little cameo. He looked like he knew exactly what he wanted to do.
I think, listen, he's an international player, and that's the thing, is whilst we're speculating that Celtic have made a lot of changes and you wouldn't regard this as their best 11, the guys are coming in are nationalists. Ralston's an nationalist, and they've brought all these players in, and they're top quality players, but as I say, the ones that are already in there are, dare I say, even better.
Conor Randall breaks free for Ross County. Back to Victor Laturi, the Canadian. Turns, gets the ball on the angle, looking for George Harmon. Harmon brings it under control. Harmon pulls the ball back up to the edge of the area. Allardyce is there. Right footy, passes inside on to Laturi. Closed down quickly by Turnbull. Back on to Randall. Randall now back to Danda. Danda again picks up. He's got such a good delivery, but he'll push it out wide onto Randall. Laturi calling for it. Tries to send it round the corner. Got caught by Greg Taylor, and referee comes over and jogs over, gives the free kick, and just tells Greg Taylor, off you go.
Now there's the interesting one, because you say that if we take the referee's version of the first tackle, the yellow card on Brown to begin with, that looks every bit a yellow card from here as well. Again, I know we've not got pictures to it, but if he's going to book him in his initial reaction there, surely that's a yellow card there. We talk about consistency. Again, Leanne and Pat in the studio will have a far better view.
I mean, we could hear Victor Laturi as well. We could hear him from here as the challenge went in. So Jan Danda outside the box, 3 or 4 yards, looks ready to float this in. Nightingale is up, Leake is up. Leake's never scored, neither is Nightingale for Ross County. 2 tall players, and it comes. Doesn't beat the first man. Ball gets headed away, comes back onto Danda. Celtic had a man down. It was O who got the clearing header, but he's back up and okay. Ross County have it on that far side. Yang almost makes the challenge, but Danda gets the ball away onto Laturi. Laturi's tall scoop cross headed back inside. Allardyce could pull the trigger here. He took his time, slid the ball through to Ryan Leake and sent it past him. Well, Scott Allardyce had the opportunity to take a touch and perhaps advance and have a little go at goal.
He's got unbelievable vision, Scotty. He can pass. He's got a whole range of passes in him. Nobody in the stadium saw that pass. We all thought he was going to shoot. It's not something that Inverness he's got a cannon of a shot, but he tends to try and find the pass rather than pull the trigger, and it very, very nearly came off there for County.
He's on the ball now, pulls the ball back onto Jan Danda. Ross County seeing a fair bit of the ball at the moment. They are down to 10, 0-0 so far. 18 minutes gone. Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland, the first of 3 commentary matches this afternoon. Here's Jan Danda. Danda plays the ball out wide. The opportunity for Randall. Randall back inside to Murray. Murray runs into Yang. Randall helps him out. Murray then loses out again. And Yang pushes the ball forward. Bernardo sends it back to McGregor. Just skipped away from Latouri as he played the ball out wide. On to Ralston. Back inside it comes. On to Callum McGregor. And now it goes out wide again. On to Yang. No yellow cards so far, just that red card. Yellow upgraded to red. The first red card after 7 without in this fixtures. McGregor comes forward, tries to get the shot away. Headed away by Randall, up to Danda at the edge of the area. He hooks the ball over his shoulder. Comes to Carter Vickers inside his opponent's half. Takes the touch, plays it across onto Scales. Scales, little short ball onto Turnbull. Turnbull gets the pass onto Ralston. Ralston just outside the area. Sends it out wide to the right hand side to Maida. Maida keeps the ball on the right foot. Short little pass onto McGregor. Ross County penned back at the moment. Now it comes onto Scales. He could play it out wide. Yang's waiting for it there. Yang takes the touch. Ball on the right foot into the middle. Missed by 2. Bounces, goes behind. And it is going to be a goal kick. Well, Celtic are causing problems. Yang on one side, Maida on the other. You said it earlier. Yang again, he's slotted in like he's been playing all season.
Yeah, I said that's the quality that's there, and that's why Pat said at the top of the game that Brendan Rodgers will be desperate to get these boys as many minutes as he can, because he knows he's going to need them later on. He'll know, they've made impacts when they've come on in recent games, but the problem County are going to have now is Celtic look. I was wondering whether Celtic may have pushed Bernardo up a little bit and put 2 up against the County's sort of 3 central defenders, but 4-3-3 against a 3-5-2, fullbacks become hugely important. Ralston and Taylor will be able to match up with Maeda.
Ralston with a brilliant ball through to Maida up at the edge of the area. Did he stumble? He did. No free kick given. The ball back to Ross Laidlaw up to the halfway line. Carter Vickers glances the header back onto Liam Scales. Scales across to Carter Vickers. Simon Murray doing the chasing. Onto Ralston, forces Ralston to a little touch and turn and ball across the halfway line, and Liam Scales will pick up. Scales onto Taylor. Yang hugging the touchline on that far side, takes the touch, still being booed by some of the Ross County fans on that far side. He was the man tackled by James Brown, who is no longer with us in terms of this game. He's in the dressing room having seen red for the challenge. Here's Maida up at the edge of the area. Maida trying to twist and turn away from Harmon. Ball on the left foot, gets the shot away, fails Baldwin. Ball comes back in. Baldwin's back on his feet. Ralston gets the ball into the area. Bernardo has it. Touch back just behind Ralston. Simon Murray will get the chance to try and bring it away. Holds off Turnbull. He's got 5 Celtic players around him, and he draws. I thought he drew the free kick. No, said the referee. We thought Murray went down too easily. Now it's with Turnbull. Turnbull steps forward up at the edge of the box, lays it off to Ralston, back inside onto McGregor, fancies the shot low, and a good save from the goalkeeper. 20 yards just to the right hand side, curled it in towards the left hand post. Laidlaw down, strong hand to turn the ball away.
It looked a foul. It looked as if Simon Murray had done well to draw a foul there, but David Moore didn't give it, and it's a quick break. It's a wonderful save there from Ross Laidlaw, because that looked like it was just going to sneak in the far post. But it's interesting tactically here. Celtic play with inverted fullbacks. They come on the pitch. If they keep them wide, they will get 2v1 down the sides all day long, because County have to defend in the middle of the pitch.
Celtic's 4th corner into the middle. It goes, the header from O. Up and over the top it goes. He holds his head in his hands. Another good effort. And Ross County, I mean, defensively Ross County look actually more comfortable in the 5.
Well, they will do. As I said already, Harmon had a problem with Maeda, so as a fullback you think, how tight do I go, how far do I stay? Now he can go tight. He saw the last attack and get a lot tighter, because he knows he's got an extra defender behind him. And this is where Celtic have to be cute. If Ralston and Taylor could just be a wee bit more disciplined, say, no, I'm going to stay wide now, I'm not going to drift into the sort of inside right, inside left positions, they'll get a 2v1, and that will cause Ross County problems. If they drift in, they'll drift into one of the 3 central defenders area where they can come out and pick them up.
Ross County have it just by the halfway line. Pull the ball back onto Will Nightingale. Nightingale back onto Baldwin. Baldwin launches it long onto this left hand side. Ralston watched it, heads the ball up to the halfway line. Maida anticipated that header, steps away from Harmon, plays it back onto Ralston. No goals so far, but we have had a red card. Ross County down to 10, the first red since March 22. Ken Ramsey got sent off after 28 minutes at Celtic Park. Celtic ran out 4-0 winners. So far, goalless. Ralston picks up, pushes the ball through. Latouri gets in the way from a Celtic perspective. Gets it forward onto Leak. Leak tried to find Danda, but Cameron Carter Vickers strong on his return. Had knee surgery back in May. Started the season, didn't play during the week, but looks fine here. And Danda tries to come out to the side. As it's going to be touched in by Scales. Halfway line. Back inside onto Taylor. Taylor to Turnbull. Turnbull back onto Scales. Here's Carter Vickers, halfway line. Tries to take a touch. The American passes it forward onto Ralston. Ralston out wide onto Maida. Maida up against Harman. Harman getting some help from Danda. Harman, in fact, will try and go wide and pick up Ralston. That's where the ball goes. Bernardo in there again. Celtic holding on here. Cal McGregor calling to Carter Vickers to come further forward. Now gets it across onto Scales. Liam Scales up at the edge of the area. Takes a touch. Will play it out wide. On to Yang, the South Korean international. Back inside onto McGregor. Centre circle it comes for Carter Vickers. Carter Vickers, a bit of space to run. Looks the ball up, looking for Turnbull. Turnbull gets the header away. Now the flag goes up. As is the way these days, you wait just a couple of beats to see if anything comes of it. The flag was up. Turnbull looked offside from here.
He did, and I say Celtic here, and generally, County are doing really well in their shape. They're 5-3-1 now. And they're wanting Celtic to come down the middle of the pitch. That's where Ralston and Taylor must have the discipline to stay wider, and then they'll get a quick switch, they'll get a 2v1 all day long, and then their midfield players can get in the box. If they continue to play through the middle, that will suit Ross County. You'll have to force a ball like they did there to try and get in behind them.
Celtic unbeaten so far this season in the Scottish Premiership. Impressive, we're into November already. Third time in the last 8 seasons unbeaten in their first 11 Scottish Premiership games. They have the ball with Liam Scales. We can get the thoughts on the opening to the game from Pat Bonner. Pat, what are you making of it?
Yeah, it's a game with Celtic now of all the control of the ball, and just watching how they're creating. I think John's absolutely right in saying that they have opportunities to go in a 2v1 down the wide areas, but just talking to Leanne about it, it looks like the two midfielders are taking up that space at times. They're running in those little channels and killing that opportunity to go 2v1, and that's then the fullbacks are inverted and they're not, and I think Ross County is quite happy with that because it keeps everything nice and tight.
That's quite interesting. Brendan Rodgers, John Kennedy out just trying to get a message on. I think it is to get wider, get down those channels. There's Ross County again. Managed to clear the ball, but only up to the halfway line. Scales and Carter Vickers are there. And it comes forward onto McGregor. Plays it out wide onto Greg Taylor. Taylor back inside onto Liam Scales. Played 3 times for Aberdeen against Ross County last season. Ball out of play on that far side. And John, one thing you do know is the amount of work Ross County are having to do.
Yeah, they're going to have to do this for the rest of the game, but as Pat's rightly saying there, and Leanne would say in the studio, that the further Ralston and Taylor going, the easier it is for them to defend. If they keep them wide, they'll cause all sorts of problems out here, but it's bottlenecked in there because you're finding that Bernardo, and there's another forced ball.
Ball into the box, Maida tries to find it, breaks down, gets the shot away, breaks back onto Yang again, it's deflected away. Outside the box it comes on the left hand side. Celtic come again. It was Yang that went to ground very easily under Nightingale. Home fans not happy, the referee uninterested, no Celtic player claiming for anything. Celtic come again, 0-0 up against Ross County. They've got a great record against them, looking to win the 10th consecutive match against their hosts. Here's the opportunity for Scales out wide. Yang onto Taylor, back into the middle. Turnbull lays it back. Taylor, Carter Vickers. He fancied his chances there. Carter Vickers gets it to Bernardo again. They're shuffling the ball down that left hand side. Yang going out in there again. Loturi is with him, goes to the byline. Low ball across again. Ryan Leake does well. Gets the ball outside the area. Taylor turns it back in. Touched back by Turnbull. McGregor. Here's the chance. Carter Vickers, if he wants to pull the trigger, he can do so. Came off Danda. The ball goes behind. It's another Celtic corner. The pressure incessant.
It is, and this is the frustrating aspect of it. As you say, Celtic have now got a back two basically, and they say, but then there's the problem, they've got 5 players literally across. McGregor slightly deeper, but they've got Ralston, Bernardo, then they've got Turnbull and Taylor, and then the 2 wide men, whereas they're all on the line. They're not getting any depth or any angles to get the ball through.
Corner comes into the middle. Scales tries to get the Govier, got the touch to it, managed to get the ball away. Ross Laidlaw is going to have to be in top form this afternoon when he's kept a clean sheet against Celtic. Ross County have won the game. He's going to have to work hard today again.
He was, and I'm not sure if it was Scales that got the header or it come off a County defender there, but it was a wonderful reaction save nonetheless.
Did well. Corner in again, up to the edge there. It's flicked away. Bernardo takes the touch, tries to show one way then the other. He'll hook the ball back across to this right hand side On to Callum McGregor. McGregor now at walking pace. Plays the ball on the inside onto Liam Scales. He fancies his chances. The shot is deflected, turned away by George Harman. And the ball gets pushed out of play. It's going to be a Celtic throw. Celtic relentless. Ross County don't have an out valve at the moment.
No, they won't, and I say they're going to have to work hard and hope that, what they're going to have to do, slow the game down, try and play for throw-ins to get their strikers up the park. Sorry, that was a good ball in there, but try and play for throw-ins, try and play for free kicks. Murray and particularly are going to have to try and draw fouls and allow them to get up the pitch and maybe knock long balls up. But Celtic in possession are going to keep the ball moving. They're going to keep it moving, keep it moving, keep it moving. And I say, and you've already called it, Ross County are going to have to work really, really hard.
The ball left the building. It was a good header away by Baldwin. It's another corner. Make it 7 now for Celtic. Turnbull rather mishits it, but it almost worked. Another ball has left the building as Bernardo saw the chance. 14 yards from goal, scooped the ball up and over the small stand behind Ross Laidlaw's goal. And Ross Laidlaw quite happy just to wander behind his goal, John, and take a little bit of time out of things here. Celtic substitutes being told to warm up.
In fairness there, the County lads in the box were shouting at the guys free at the edge of the box because Celtic have put 2 out. Now that's where Ross County have got to be clever. You can't put 2 men out against 2 because that leaves the edge of the box. So, I would be saying stay at the edge of the box with him. We'll go 2v1 down there, and if they play it short, somebody will come and help you. But they've saw it. Celtic have saw it. They've saw the ball at the edge of the box. Looked like it was going to be whipped again, beautifully side-footed, and half a chance for Bernardo.
Joe Hart, a virtual spectator at the moment, watches the ball go past him as Carter Vickers gets the ball up to Ralston. Ralston over the halfway line, on to Bernardo. Bernardo clips the ball up. He just made a great run up at the edge of the area. The flag has stayed down, gets it across, chance, goal, Celtic! And again it's all. Well, there's a reaction to 1 or 2 by the Ross County players, but Celtic are ahead. Maida with the ball played through, inside to 2-2 for the striker. Celtic take the lead in Dingwall. Ross County 0, Celtic 1.
Well, it's down to Dyes and Maida there. The movement is sensational. He's done it twice and not been seen. He's came short, he's dragged Harman in, he's spun in behind, it's the ball in behind. I don't know if it was Ralston or Carton Vickers, but beautifully played in beside. And if he's not offside, it's a wonderful goal because he's driven to the byline, he's cut it back, and there was to knock it in. But it was all about Daizan Maida's movement there. Comes short to go long, and he's absolutely blistered away, the blistering pace away from Harman again.
There is going to be a VAR check. The referee has indicated that. Pat Bonner and Leanne Crichton in the studio. What did you make of what we've just seen here?
Yeah, well, listen, it's a great move from Celtic, but if they're going by the lines in the pitch, it does look marginally offside, I would need to say, from the angle that we've seen in the camera and the replay, so it will be interesting. I've looked at these a lot of times on a Saturday afternoon and I don't always get the offside spot on, I would need to say, so we'll wait and see what the VAR team say.
Yeah, it's really all about the angle of the camera, but it does look, from what we're watching here, they were very, very square. Ross County also, they were so high up when that ball, he just looks as if he might have been just a couple of, about a foot, I would say, shoulder maybe even.
Listen, it's good play from Celtic though, because it's the first time they've actually drawn Ross County out and been able to then get that ball in behind and have the space to go and hit. Pat and I were just sitting saying that, boxing Ross County, and it's suiting them just now. The game's in front of them, they're dealing with everything. So many bodies just totally congested.
Yeah. And they're checking this. This is a long VAR check again, isn't it? You would expect, an offside to be fairly clinical, get the camera, get the lines in, but it does take a bit of time, and it's.
Well, you want to make sure it's correct. At the moment, David Munro is going to go to the screen, and it is offside. I have to say, John Robertson, my gut feel was he was just offside and no more. Doesn't always mean that it's going to be right, but that doesn't count.
It was great movement. He's gone and spun in behind, and you see we can't see the straight line of the County back four beyond it, and that was the only thing that could have possibly been the initial movement, which was sensational. But again, that's what VAR's there for, and that's one gone for either side.
Well, Ross Laidlaw stands, gets ready to play this forward, and Ross County will feel it much, much happier now. That goal chalked off. Celtic look a little disgruntled as Laidlaw steps the ball forward. Tried to chase in there was Nightingale, almost fell for him. I think he took out Scales. He ran into him badly. Scales is hurt at the edge of the area. I think the referee's got some work to do here as well. Liam Scales is sitting up, thankfully. I think he was looking at the ball, but he ran through the Celtic player. And Anthony Ralston has a look to the bench. He's got his hands out wide, so as if to say what was going on there. Neil Munro is taking his time. The physio hasn't yet come on. Tim Wilkinson is still down below us. Liam Scale gets up. He's certainly got his cheekbone rattled. And he's back up. Celtic get a free kick just inside the D. Your thoughts, John Robertson?
It certainly looked like he led with an arm. Whether he's made that much contact, the good news is Liam Scales is up. But certainly, again, we have no replays here, but it certainly looked a robust challenge to say the least.
0-0 here, Sports Sound, Saturday afternoon, BBC Radio Scotland. Why would you be anywhere else? Here's Scales. Scales plays the ball out wide, on to Taylor. 10-man Ross County 0, Celtic 0. Celtic with the ball in the back of the net twice, neither have counted. Scales plays the ball across, on to Carter Vickers. Carter Vickers takes a touch, short onto Ralston, being chased away from the edge of the area. Now comes out wide, onto Maida. Maida with a touch, gets the ball across onto Bernardo. Bernardo back inside, onto McGregor. McGregor inside, onto Carter Vickers. Our viewing is almost exclusively to the right hand side. Here's the opportunity for Yang to make a little run. There's the overlap. Taylor tries to get it in, blocked. The ball goes behind. It's another corner to Celtic, and they will continue the pressure. Half time just over 10 minutes away.
Yes, for me it's a bit like Groundhog Day. We're saying the same thing. Celtic need to keep the two men wide, get the 2v1s and get crosses in the box, and allow the spaces for the midfield players to run into. But right now the two fullbacks are taking up the spaces you'd expect Turnbull and Turnbull Bernardo to take up.
Bernardo steps forward from the edge of the area, swipes the ball away, but just got it wrong, curling away from goal. No threat whatsoever to the goal of Ross Laidlaw. Ross Laidlaw stands on in red this afternoon. 142nd appearance for Ross County in his 5th season here. Malky Mackay, Don Cowie down below us, trying to get on some instructions. I'll tell you one thing about the back three, if we call it that for a moment. They're tall lads with Baldwin, Leake and Nightingale in there. They've got a bit of physicality there.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that if they can get up the park and they can get to within, spitting distance of the Celtic goal and throw in set plays, they've got some big lads that they say they could. Because in Celtic, as we know, are not the biggest side in the world. They're slightly bigger today than they are normally with O up front rather than Kyogo. But you'd think that would be something that Malky would have spoke about. That there's Celtic at set pieces can be occasionally vulnerable, but so far they've had a couple of efforts earlier on from Danda to put in the box, but nothing really for the last 20 minutes or so, because it's a rearguard action.
Here's the opportunity for Yang to spring into the box, takes a good touch, pulls the ball back. Taylor into the middle, and it's going to be pushed away. Here's the opportunity for Allardyce to try and get away ahead of Ralston. Ralston shepherded the ball out of play, shepherded Allardyce out as well. Allardyce has to get himself back up and back on the field of play. Ball is with McGregor. McGregor plays it on to Greg Taylor. Taylor back into the middle. There's a nutmeg at the edge of the area from Turnbull. He's still going, gets the ball across. Laidlaw makes the save just at his post. Has to push the ball out wide. It's gone out for a throw. Outrageous from David Turnbull.
Well, that's the first time they had two. They kept the full-back and the winger wide, and Turnbull got into the area we're talking about. His nutmeg's incredible, but County have just managed to crowd him out. But that's what happens if you have the discipline to keep your full-back and your winger wide. You'll create 2v1s and create, more importantly, holes for your midfield men to run into.
O's done brilliantly to win the ball back. He's got it into Turnbull inside the area, trying to get away from Baldwin. There are so many bodies in that right hand side. It's hoofed clear by Ross County. 0-0. County down to 10 after the 10th minute, the 10th red card of the Scottish Premiership season. Now the ball on the inside, on to Turnbull. Turnbull hooks the ball across, chance! Goalkeeper somehow keeps it out. The ball is knocked away. Well, Bernardo came in inside the 6-yard box, thought he was certain to score. Ross Laidlaw was strong.
Great play, great ball, great run, and an even better save. That is just sensational from Ross Laidlaw again. That's the third, fourth top-class save he's had, and he's going to make at least 3 or 4 more if County are to get anything from this match. What a save.
It's terrific stuff. The goalkeeper's playing well. Here's Cameron Carter-Vickers. Always looks like he's got time for a shot, doesn't fancy it, and then goes back again. He does have 5 goals in his time as a Celtic player. runs forward again, thinks about it, pushes it out wide, edge of the area, the apex of the box. Ralston pulls the ball back in again to McGregor. McGregor across onto Taylor. Fogg starting to come down again into the box. It goes into O. O plays the ball back and it's pushed away before Yang can get there. Well, the tagline for Ross County at the moment is desperate defending as the ball comes in from Scales. They're getting players there though, as Carter Vickers plays the ball across onto Ralston. Back again it goes. A little bit foggy. Celtic looking for clarity. 0-0 so far. Ball pushed down over the lovely touch. Didn't fool though. Jack Baldwin comes down to Victor Laturi. Laturi trying to hold on to the ball. Tries to find Danda. Oh, again emerges with it. Then goes down to the ground. Referee allows play to continue. Maida has it out wide on this right hand side. He slips and runs the ball out of play. Well, credit to Ross County. They're giving no space to Celtic when they can. They're trying to find a way just to sit right on top of the ball as comes in.
There's no way a Malky Mackay side will give anything else. They're always organised, they're always full of energy, and they give it. They leave nothing on the pitch. But it's honestly, it's so easy to see. They've gone into a 5-3-1 formation, which means automatically that all the space is in the full-back areas, and that's where Celtic have to get the ball out to get their 2v1s down here. Fire balls at the midfield, get their midfield runners going, because McGregor will just sit in front of Scales and Carter Vickers and completely control the game. But it's still the same thing. The two inverted fullbacks are actually clogging up the space and, more importantly, making it far easier for Ross County to defend.
Scott Allardyce goes down. It's going to be a free kick. Chance for Ross County to take a breath and get the ball away. Ryan Leake not in a hurry to get the ball back on the surface, so you can get things moving once more. Now Celtic looking to push forward for a winner in the last 19 meetings of these sides. Ross County 2, Celtic 17. April 2017, the last time there's been a draw between this pair. Celtic led twice, Ross County came back. Ross County can't really afford to go behind today as the long ball comes forward. Nightingale can't get on the end of it. It's pushed back by Maida up to the edge of the Celtic box. Ralston takes the touch onto Bernardo. Bernardo scoops it round the side. Ryan Leake has a little look, takes a touch, tries to get away from O, takes a touch. O goes to cut the pass back to the goalkeeper, so Leake will turn, play the ball infield, trying to find Simon Murray. Can't do so. Murray can't gather. Liam Scales does. Scales back inside onto McGregor. McGregor moving through the middle, pushes it out wide onto Ralston, further out wide onto Bernardo. He cuts the ball back inside. Malky Mackay turning the volume up from the sidelines. Gets the ball now. Callum McGregor onto Turnbull. Turnbull tries to get the ball across. Ralston is all alone on this right hand side. Celtic coming down the left though. Taylor has it back inside onto Scales. Scales gathers, looks up, plays the ball harmlessly, takes a bounce just before it goes out of play. Everybody tilted to the left.
And that's the point I was making, that was the first time that Ralston actually, because Maida drifted in a little bit and took Harmon with him, Ralston stayed wide and he was in acres of space. Now if he and Taylor do that in general play, that's the space they'll get 2v1.
So here's the opportunity to get the ball away for Ross Laidlaw. Ross County not finding a breakthrough in this first half. That's not unusual, just one first half goal in the Scottish Premiership for them this season. Gets played forward, Nightingale wins the header, comes inside to McGregor. Bernardo stretching, trying to get there, does so, gets the ball onto Ralston. Ralston plays it forward onto Maida, who knows a lost cause when he sees that the ball just running out of play. Half time, 3 minutes plus stoppage time. The first half that hasn't lacked for drama. Celtic had the ball in the back of the net twice. Ross County had a man sent off, initially a yellow card upgraded to red, and Ross County in no hurry to take the throw from this near side with Jack Baldwin, third year at the club, appearance number 81. Rolls the ball inside his jersey, gets ready. Here's their long throw expert, but he's trying to get this up towards the halfway line, gets it up. Allardyce wins the head flick. Murray tries to bring it down to ground, the ball bouncing away. Bernardo came off him, and then Ralston hits it off Bernardo. Well, he was about a yard away from him. It's not like he couldn't see him, but he couldn't get the ball past him.
No, I think he just tried to lash it forward. Bernardo's been very quiet today. He's a lovely touch. He's got something about him, but he's not really affected the game in any way. And we say that, and this is the difference that Ben Rodgers we talked about here. Is you've got a guy like O'Reilly, who's had a huge impact on Celtic his game this season, top goal scorer, midfield player in that term. So you look at that. You would imagine at some stage, if things stay the same, because this would be a game that Brendan Rodgers would really, with a red card early, get 2 or 3 goals up and then you could probably leave these lads on and let them get 90 minutes and keep Kyogo fresh, keep O'Reilly fresh, keep his fullback Johnson for the likes of them. Keep them fresh, because he'll not want to use them if he doesn't have to.
Ross County's move attacking broke down. That was a groan in the background. Celtic come forward. Maida, for some bizarre reason, just decides to push Allardyce in the back. Again, it's going to be a free kick. Interesting, the referee, David Munro, has spoken to Jack Baldwin, say you've got to get things moving a little bit quicker. Jack Baldwin, I presume, do what all captains would do in that circumstance and ignore him until he gets warned again.
No, he'll agree with him, but he'll just not do it. I mean, you know, County have got to do that. Just slow things down, get people in position, try and, you know, can we kick it long onto somebody, get a throw in, and then Baldwin suddenly throws it in the box, and they've just got to try and work their way up the pitch as best they can, because it's going to be very, very difficult for them to pass their way up the park.
Ball breaks down from the free kick. And Simon Murray is down. He took a head knock. He gets back up. The referee has a little word. The referee says to Celtic, hold on. He needs to get him checked. He's currently doubled over at the moment. And Evan Munro just saying to Callum McGregor, give the ball back to your goalkeeper, and we will to get things restarted. And the referee will come back. He'll do it properly and bounce the ball for Joe Hart. There we go. Doing it by the book. Inside the final minute, 0-0 so far. Carter Vickers. Forward it goes to Bernardo. Bernardo loses out onto Leak. Now Simon Murray gets the chance. The top goal scorer. Moving up towards the edge. He's away from Carter Vickers. He goes down. 1 or 2 rights for a penalty. Simon Murray didn't think so. He didn't claim for it. The fans getting more excited than the players there as the ball comes back onto Turnbull. Turnbull now clips the ball long up towards O. Gets the head flick on, but then getting his head in the way is Ryan Leak. And then Baldwin runs into O. O is on his backside, has a little look back. The referee says, get things moving once more. Important couple of minutes here for Ross County. They don't want to lose a goal right now. That would be a gut punch.
No, and what Simon Murray done is tremendous for the team. It gets them up the park, and it looks like, again, we got a quick look at it. It looked like Carter Vickers got his foot to the ball, and Simon's caught him. He's certainly not claimed for it. He got up and ran on about it. But yeah, it's exactly what Ross County will want. It's a tough ask for Simon Murray, and I'm sure at some stage in the second half either Samuel or Brophy will come on, because he's going to need replaced at some stage.
Yeah, he looks tired. I think that's the kindest word at the moment. He looks tired, but he gives his all. Simon Murray, 6 additional minutes to be played. And they begin as Baldwin has the opportunity to throw the ball in. He'll throw it all the way back to his goalkeeper. O goes back up to the edge of the area to chase him down. Laidlaw releases. Nightingale is the player they're pushing forward for any long throw or any opportunity to get the ball long, and he's blocked Greg Taylor. Taylor has to turn to go back. Nightingale goes out there to try and block the ball forward. The ball's been given away onto Allardyce. Allardyce runs into trouble, but the ball's gone out of play. Good work from Nightingale.
Now this is what County want. This is well thought out here. They've gone back. Nightingale's pushed up. They've got header down. Scott Allardyce has done the right thing there. He's played for a throw-in. Now this allows Leak, who's about 6'4", Nightingale who's about 6'3", to get the. But it's just a pity Baldwin's taking the throw, and he's about 6'4" as well. But this is the one, you know, you launch it in the air, gets a flick on, or it just gets knocked down. Something could happen.
Throw it to the box. Leak tried to find it. It breaks away by Turnbull. Maida has it. Celtic, everybody back by Maida. The ball is played out wide. Baldwin goes beside his man. That's nicely done. Gets the ball into middle. Murray tries to get in there. Carter Vickers. That was a really important touch to flick the ball out to the left-hand side onto Liam Scales. It's 0-0. We're in stoppage time in the first half, and Celtic are breaking now on that right-hand side. Good defending. Cameron Carter Vickers had to be calm and was. Out Taylor from Scales, out wide onto Yang. Laturi is up against him. Laturi makes the tackle, wins the ball spins well. Yang then goes in. Laturi takes him down. It's going to be a free kick over by the left-hand side touchline, and an opportunity to get the ball in. Still remains a little bit foggy here. The mist just blowing over this ground. As Celtic have got the chance, David Turnbull will go out there to try and take it. Baldwin plants himself into the middle, so too Leak. George Harmon's tucked in as well. Ralston is up. Here's the opportunity. And Celtic will pull the ball all the way back onto Greg Taylor. Taylor, right foot onto left, onto Bernardo, back onto Taylor. Taylor pushes it round, looking for Turnbull. Turnbull at the edge of the area. Let's fly! Goalkeeper with a save. You'd expect him to make it. Push the ball out wide. And the ball runs out of play. Celtic will have a throw. Shot was on target. as the ball gets played back. Bernardo on to Scales. Celtic looking for a breakthrough in stoppage time in the first half. Ball pushed back out wide onto Ralston, round the corner onto Bernardo, into the middle it goes, and again it's thumped clear by resilient Ross County.
Yeah, another good, it was a comfortable save from Laidlaw last time, but one that had to be set again. They've got the 2v1 down the outside, they've slipped it in, it's an opportunity. They're just, for me, the fullbacks are making it so easy for the Ross County midfield players to go out and get to them quickly. If they stay wide, it's impossible for them to get out there.
The voice of former Scottish internationalist John Robertson here on Sports Sound, BBC Radio Scotland. We'll hear from Pat Bonner and Ian Crichton at half time. Kenny McIntyre is Cameron Carter-Vickers up at the edge of the area. McGregor tries to play it through. It's been a great run made by Yang. Goalkeeper comes out, wins it. Yang had to present to go for the ball. I don't think Ross Laidlaw is overly happy, but the goalkeeper is when somebody comes through. You would expect your forward to have to go in and have a look at that for sure. I think the referee understands that. I'm sure Ross Laidlaw does as well. No harm, no foul, although he's crouching down at the moment. Again, just to take another couple of seconds off the clock.
Absolutely, and he's done well. It was just too far ahead of him. He slid in. I think it's his momentum on the wet surface is taking him into the keeper. You've got to watch though, because as we saw earlier on, sometimes someone else can see a completely different picture, but it looks like County are going to hold on.
Laturi has pulled down his man. The ball was moving away. Certainly isn't short of mixing things. He was having a little go at Allardyce there. Callum McGregor is there. The referee's just asking things to calm down. It remains 0-0. Stoppage time 49.5 on the watch to my left-hand side. Celtic 6 additional minutes time recommended by the referee. He looks at his timepiece as the ball gets played out wide onto Maida. Maida attacking Harmon. It's not been a good afternoon for Harmon. Ball into the middle, a head flight up and over from O. I'll tell you what, O's done everything that I think has been asked of him. He's been here, there and everywhere, always tries to get on the end of things.
Yep, he's good movement, he's getting into the danger areas, he's had 2 or 3 headers, he's had a couple of shots blocked, but again, Maida wide, going at the man, 1v1, I'll take you on. And it's great, you've got at the back post, you've got your players coming in there, Turnbull, etc., and the wide man both coming in. That's the key. The key for Celtic today is win, because County are funneling them down the middle and Celtic are going down there and they're able to hold on.
0-0 so far. Nightingale, I say, gets pushed forward for all the long balls. He gets the head flick on, but Dandon Murray couldn't get on the end of it. Ralston has it back to the edge of his own area. Cameron Carter-Vickers. Scales starts again, moving forward down that left hand side, forward onto Turnbull. Turnbull hooks out wide, tried to find Yang. Yang has it, tries to get ahead of Randall, gets it back inside onto Turnbull. Turnbull plays the ball through. Baldwin can't get there. O can. Ball breaks to the edge of the area. The shot came in for Bernardo. It's another great block from Baldwin. Went down. Ball breaks outside the area onto Scales. Scales plays it out wide onto Taylor. Taylor back inside. Here's the opportunity for Celtic. Be the last of the half. Turnbull tries to get the touches away from Danda. Low shot in! And David Turnbull does what he does so often against Ross County. He drills the ball low into the corner. Celtic get the breakthrough in the final seconds of the first half. Ross County 0, Celtic 1.
That's another great strike, and County will be upset because of a brilliant block from Baldwin just before that. Again, they've got the 2v1 wide this time. They've opened it up, they've knocked it in. Turnbull staying out, but in the hole there. Wonderful touch, wonderful strike. The County players are not happy about something, but it's a real tough one to take, because it looked like they were going to get into the sanctuary dressing room at 0-0.
Well, no sanctuary dressing room. They looked to the heavens as that ball nestled in the back of the net. Laidlaw full stretch, just couldn't keep it out. There is a VAR check. The goal has been given, and we will restart, and I think the referee will then blow the whistle for half-time. Simon Murray takes it, tries to go for goal, sends it wide. Good idea as the half-time whistle goes in Dingwall. Celtic had the ball in the back of the net twice before one finally counted. It took them 51 minutes of football to get the ball past Ross Laidlaw. Pulled out save after save. Ross County had gone down to 10 after 10. Brown for his foul on Yang, initially given as yellow, upgraded to red. But Ross County trudge off the field despondent. They thought they were going to hold on to half-time. They haven't done so. Half-time scoreline in Dingwall. Ross County 0, Celtic 1.
On digital radio.
Online at BBC Sports Scotland.
Or play BBC Radio Scotland Extra on your smart speaker or BBC Sounds.
This is Sports Sound.
There's no substitute.
Join Craig Levine and me, Amy Irons, for the podcast that guides you through the cutthroat world of football management.
Sacked in the Morning is back with brand new episodes.
Charlie Adam, you actually listen to the podcast, and can you confirm we don't pay you to do so?
No, I do. I enjoy it. You know, I like hearing about the old managers just to get the knowledge and the insight.
Mick McCarthy.
So I could tolerate 3, but if I get beat 7, I might be sacked in the morning because that was, you know.
He is Rob and Ryan's man, Humphrey Carr. Why Wrexham?
He said, as is natural, he said we should buy a football team. It's like, that looks fun.
Sacked in the Morning. Listen now on BBC Sounds.
So, real heartache right in the stroke of half-time for Ross County. They trail Celtic by a 1-0. David Turnbull in the 7th minute of first half stoppage time from the edge of the area, finding the bottom corner of that after County had been reduced to 10 men. James Brown sent off after 10 minutes. Leanne Crichton and Pat Bonner alongside me in the studio. Leanne, let's just get to some of the big talking points. First of all, I was out the studio for the old goal that was disallowed us through with the off-the-ball guys. So you called it right away in terms of the sending off. Then there was the old goal chopped off, and a very brief check in terms of the Celtic goal that did count. Yeah, no, there's been an action-packed first half, certainly. Celtic's first goal, the Liam Scales goal, disallowed from the challenging, deemed to have fouled the defender, which will divide opinion, I would need to say. I think Pat described it during the game. Yeah. Again, I've had a look at it. I can understand why it's been given, but the reality is you'll probably disallow a hell of a lot of goals in the future if that's the standard that you set. Ross County then looked to, kind of settle things down. The James Brown red card, as you mentioned, it's a dead cert. We looked at it in real play. It was difficult in the first angle, even that Pat and I seen in the studio. But I would need to say, once we get the replay in the slow-mo in terms of the point of contact and endangering the opponent, as I had mentioned during the commentary, it's definitely a red card. So a sore one for County. They reshuffled the pack. They obviously sacrificed Jordan White up top, brought on Nightingale, changed the system, looked to organise, defended for their lives at times, but I would need to say defended for their lives in the sense that they're in their own defensive third. Denied Celtic many opportunities, were robust. Laidlaw's been fantastic in goals, couple of big saves as well, and then eventually, Celtic get the breakthrough, and it's David Turnbull doing what David Turnbull does, edge of the box, picks his spot, composure, calm, a bit of finesse, and catches Ross County out, and it's an absolute sucker punch for them because there was 6 minutes injury time added on at the end of the half, and I think it was 5 minutes 50 into that 6 minutes added on. So you can only imagine what they'll be feeling like in that dressing room, because the reality is you could stay in the game, I think, against Celtic, and 0-0 is probably your best chance in this type of game. As soon as you concede, as a player, you've got an absolute mountain to climb. A long way back for County, Pat, no doubt about that. David Turnbull has done well for Brendan Rodgers. What's your assessment of that first half performance from the team?
Yeah, I think they had lots of control, as you would expect. Obviously, even with 11v11, they would have lots of control in that particular game, pinning Ross County back. But then when it goes down to 10, then it becomes that Ross County's best bet. Probably when they're higher up the pitch at times and have to get a set piece or play that ball into the box, they had a few chances of it. But from open play, in general, Celtic have dominated. And it was interesting, I listened to John's commentary also in relation to how it was very clogged up in the middle. Celtic playing with their inverted fullbacks. But because they had so much of the ball and Ross County was pinned back, the two midfielders, Bernardo and Turnbull, was really high up the pitch also, and they were taking bodies in there into those areas, and even trying to run down into the spaces where you would probably leave vacant in that type of game because of the extra man, and let the fullbacks and the wingers work together in those 2v1 situations to create opportunities. And we've seen when the goal was disallowed with Maeda how dangerous that is with his pace and power, and if they can play them ball either over the top to his feet, open up and go and attack and then get people across the front post, that's probably where I thought the goal might have come from, but they weren't able to actually do it, and it suited Ross County. obviously the goal, when it came, it was right on that vulnerable time, right on half-time. And I keep saying it every single time. And even when I coached, and that's the time that maybe the concentration level goes, maybe a little bit of tiredness, and that's when you have to really think and really work harder. Danda was up against Turnbull. I think he might have slipped slightly, to give him the benefit of the doubt when he went, but he went in and he sold himself a little bit, and that created the opportunity for Turnbull then to just open out a little bit, create the space, and you know how deadly he is from that distance. And that Celtic are probably scoring more goals from those areas than they are maybe now from the front post areas, and that's been the change, I think, also in the way that Brendan Rodgers has played the game.
Explain that to us, Pat. Develop that, because I'm interested in that. I know today's maybe not a great example because we're up against 10 men, but generally speaking, the differences in style of play between Rodgers and Postecoglou.
Well, I think under Ange Postecoglou, when you analyse the game, it was very much, he hated balls being played square or playing back. It was almost balls, and maybe the centre halves, when they got a ball, it was because the inverted fullbacks were playing in there, that opened up the space to get a ball almost to the winger. First pass straight up to the winger, and the winger opened up, and it was a 1v1 either inside, outside, depending who the winger was, and then that ball was flashed across that 6-yard block. I remember him, I think it was Livingston, they played a game, and they weren't making those runs across to that front post area, and he came out after the game and picked up on that very, very quickly, and then suddenly after that they were scored all sorts of goals. Kyogo was the one that was doing it, getting across really sharp, and then balls were flashed in there. They scored loads of goals from that. Under Brendan, it's a little bit more patience, more passing, more square, more get it out, open up, wait for the moment, a bit like what Turnbull did there. You know, that ball's played around 3-4 passes, and sometimes yes, great if you've got the quality and you can pick passes, but when you're up against a team that defends deep and defend with a block right in there, you're really then relying on really good quality players, technical players, to actually open that up, and with a bit of skill and so on and so forth from that perspective. I also think that it's maybe just taking a wee edge off Kyogo when he plays, because I've watched Kyogo, when you watch the 11v11 game and you're at the stadium, you see Kyogo still, when the ball's deeper, making runs, making sort of that double movement that he had was brilliant under Ange, because he would take people into an area and then he would go and then drop back and get it. But the ball was always coming to him.
It's a brilliant point actually, Pat, because that's what Ange Postecoglou speaks about, is that no-look pass. When the ball gets played into the channel, if you're the wide player or the fullback, don't look who's inside the box. Deliver the pass straight away, because by the time you take a chance to look, you've missed your opportunity to deliver. And a lot of the times now you see with this type of style, slightly slower, not the same type of space, is that the players get into that area, they put their foot in the ball, they look to see who's there, and then they look to deliver, and the moment's gone. So players like Kyogo, they're not getting the same level of chances as what they were under.
And I think, Leanne, it's also because I watch, maybe his head goes down then a little bit, he gets a little bit frustrated. You know, listen, he'll always score goals, and John talked about his movement is brilliant. Watch the movement. It's an unbelievable lesson for any young player going to watch a game. That's what you watch, but you still need to pass. You need it played into an area or to his feet, or now it's slightly, and that's then forcing him to come a little bit deeper into the game, and then when the ball does get into those areas, he's almost about 5 or 6 yards more penalty spot edge of the box.
With Kyogo as well, Pat, he was the type of player, he goes 6 touches in a game and he's barely influenced the game, and he pops up with a winner.
Yeah.
But whereas I think in this system now, at times he has to be more in tuned the whole game, because there's times that they involve him when he doesn't necessarily want to be involved. He wants to be involved at that last second, when the ball goes wide and he knows the tempo's happening, a change of pace, and he looks totally disengaged, and then bang, he's alive, he's in the box, the ball's in the net.
I think you should think John into this discussion.
It's interesting, John, isn't it? Because you touched on Kyogo in our pre-match chat, John, just about the movement, and you're saying that has done well in the limited opportunities he's had, but no one's ever going to displace Kyogo in that team. It's his movement, isn't it? And talk to us a bit about that, John. What makes him different?
The first part is his movement. You have to, as a striker these days, playing on your own, technically up front. But the way Celtic played is he would stay right down the middle. He was the focal point. He's not the guy who links up play and brings people up the park. He's got other people to do that. Celtic gets so much of the ball, they can pass through teams till they get to the final third. That's where he comes into his own. When Celtic keep the wide players wide, That means the back four is stretched and he can run into the channels, and he's brilliant. It's the old-fashioned, if I'm coming short, I'm going long. If I'm going long, I'm coming short. And his teammates know that. And the moment he runs away from the ball, they just roll it short because they know he's going to check back and get it. The movement for the goal today, Maeda does exactly the same. He'd done it twice and hadn't been seen, where he came short quickly and spun in behind, and twice he got in behind Harman, twice he wasn't seen. The third time he did, he's fractionally offside. Kyogo does that in and around the box, and what he makes defenders do. I watched them when Celtic went up at Tannadice last year, and he stands the director's box at Tannadice is behind the bottom goal, so when Celtic were shooting down that way, you get a great view of the whole pitch wide open, and Kyogo was starting 5-6 yards behind the defenders. So they were looking, despite the fact the ball's in front of them, and for the majority of the game the ball is in front of you, they were petrified because they were looking around to see where Kyogo was, because he was 5-6 yards behind them. And whenever they turned around to have a look at him and he was there, he's so clever. The moment they turn back to see where the ball is, because they need to know where the ball is, he disappears 5, 6, 7 yards to the right, 5, 6, 7 yards to the left, or suddenly he's sprinted past it to come short and they don't realise he's there. So he's very, very, very clever movement, and he does it all the time. So the defenders, have to actually go side on to keep an eye on what's happening in front of them.
But that, John,
keep an eye on what's happening behind them.
Was Postecoglou's system, though.
Yes,
He does the exact same at Spurs. The striker stands offside.
And I think
because
you'll see already that his numbers under Brendan, I don't think are as good.
Yeah.
I might be wrong here, but I don't think his numbers are as good as they were, because Brendan has it. Pat's called it, and you're calling it there. It's more patient build-up. It's more of a passing thing and keep it going. And it tends to be that when they get it wide and the forwards are going into the box under Ange Postecoglou, it was just played in first time. You're correct. Get there. Midfield players are now dropping off, and you saw Turnbull's first goal against Simon last week, where he drops just outside the box, turns quickly, and has the technical ability to go and put it in the top corner. This time it's on the ground, so the patient build-up will allow for more chances to be created for the midfield players in front of the defenders, because that's exactly what's happening today. Is they've only twice, I think, got in behind, and the goal comes from the fact Taylor stayed wide. They played a couple of passes, and this time Turnbull dropped off into an area and then old inside left position where he could pick it up, drive forward and strike the goal.
But you hit the nail on the head, because the strikers' responsibility, i.e. Kyogo, even under Postecoglou, their job wasn't to get the team up the pitch.
No.
So they were able to go and stand offside and completely detach and look disengaged, and then they would come to life when the ball was in the danger zone, effectively. It looks a bit different now. I think that there's more onus on the striker to be involved all the time, which is killing the space centrally.
And I think that takes us to the point of, do they have a striker that can complement that type of... now, from Kyogo, he'll always play and he'll always score goals, so he'll always be there. But that second striker, actually did okay in the first half with a few hold-ups today and so on. But then the other part of the game is questionable.
The aspect of that part is that on the big pitch at Celtic Park, I think there's so much space for them to create the chances still and open teams up. On the tighter parks, it's that little bit harder, I think, to find it, especially as you've seen here. Ross County were having a little bit of a go in a 4-4-2. They immediately retreat to a 5-3-1 and said to Celtic, right, go on then, if you want to come down the middle, we'll make it really, really difficult for you. As you say, it's the complement aspect. Are Celtic going to change from their 4-3-3 into a 4-4? I'd love to see them in a game like this go, you know what, we'll try something different. We'll play O and Kyogo together and see if there's a wee partnership can develop and just tweak the system slightly. They won't, because it's been hugely successful for a decade now, playing 4-3-3, and their attitude is we change for no one. I get that, but as you say, they're two completely different types of striker.
Whatever Celtic do this afternoon, there's a huge challenge ahead for Ross County. Just a reminder of what we have for you today. When this game is done and dusted, we have our second Premiership commentary of the afternoon for you. Kilmarnock against Mother. We also have reporters at the 4 games in the Championship. You'll hear all the goal news from there. When that's all finished, it is the first of the semi-finals of the League Cup. It's a 5:15 start at the National Stadium. Hibs against Aberdeen. Let's then get back to Dingwall. It's a long way back for Ross County, trailing Celtic by 1-0 at half-time. Let's get to your commentary team there, John Robertson and Paul Mitchell.
Thank you, Kenny. David Turnbull now 5 goals in 10 this season, 5 and 30 last season. David Turnbull's also played more Premiership starts this season than last season already. He's showing his worth so far. There is going to be a change going to be made. Ian Auld is our pitchside reporter. Ian, Ross County first to the bench.
Yeah, Paul, second change of the afternoon for the home side. Ben Purrington is out and stripped. In fact, a third switch because Alex Samuel has also just wandered out. So a double sub at the break for Ross County. Alex Samuel and Ben Purrington coming on. We're just working out, and we'll find out shortly who is coming off or who indeed came off at the break for the Staggies.
Harmon and Murray are the two players I think that have gone. So Harmon and Purrington, that's a natural switch, and so too Samuel and Murray. I mentioned Simon Murray, John, had run so much in that first half. Be interesting to see stats from the GPS.
I thought he might have got to the hour mark, if I was being honest. I didn't think it would happen this early, but certainly, you know, and don't be surprised if it changes again, because Alex Samuel will run his socks off, and you may find if County are still in the match and needing something, Brophy could come on again for the likes of Samuel, or in fact indeed they may chuck the two strikers up to try and pull someone out. But as I say, first things first, they've got to keep it to one goal for as long as they possibly can.
Sports Sound, BBC Radio Scotland, first of 3 live matches for you. We're at the Global Energy Stadium. And Celtic leading by 1-0. The goal from David Turnbull was an impressive strike. Yang picks up, plays it on to McGregor. Up at the edge of the area, closed down by Samuel. Ball comes away onto Jan Danda. Danda takes a touch, then plays it back inside. Nightingale flicks it forward. And the ball inside the Celtic half. Ross Laidlaw in goal. Back three of Nightingale, Baldwin and Leake. Purrington and Randall wide. Laturi, Danda and Allardyce. And Alex Samuel is being asked to plough the furrow up front. Not going to be an easy one, but plenty of energy. Good to see him back on the field. Had such a bad time last season. And as the ball goes out of play on that far side, Bernardo felt was being held. It is going to be a throw. It will come in for Ross County. Celtic, Joe Hart in goal. It's Ralston, Carter Vickers, Scales and Taylor. Bernardo, McGregor, Turnbull, Maida, O and Yang are the players lined up for Celtic. If you think they only gave 10 players out for Ross County, it was on purpose. James Brown sent off in the first half after 10 minutes. Celtic leading by 1-0. Ross County trying to find a way just to keep the ball inside their opponent's half. Allardyce will turn it back onto Connor Randall, now in at that right wing back role. He's been playing more central midfield this season, been playing well. Also launched long by the goalkeeper. The lights are on here at Dingwall. Scales passes the ball out to Taylor, runs out of play. Jan Danda will leave it for Connor Randall. Malky Mackay down beside Brendan Rodgers to his left hand side. They were together at Watford. First team coach Malky Mackay to the boss Brendan Rodgers. Malky Mackay is yet to beat Brendan Rodgers when they've gone head to head as managers. It's going to be a tough one today. They're trailing by 1-0 Ross County. Baldwin eventually decides to throw the ball in. He does so up towards the edge of the area. Nightingale wins the header. Samuel tried to go across. Nightingale wins it again, turns down onto Samuel. Might break back for Leake, who was up as well. There was a push inside the area. That, you got to think, John Robertson, is the best hope for Ross County. Get the ball in the box, get bodies there, try and cause a bit of confusion.
Yeah, they've got to try and get Danda and Samuel to try and draw fouls and get throw-ins in the last third, because you've seen it there. Baldwin can throw a good 30 yards, and now with Purrington coming on as well, you know, they've got some big lads there that they threw Leake forward there, they threw Purrington into the box, so they've got opportunity. Nightingale, etc. There's some big lads.
Cameron Carter-Vickers plays out wide. I'd look up to the back three of Ross County, but then again, I look up to most people. Here's Yang, plays the ball on the overlap onto Taylor. Taylor tries to get it in, and the ball knocked away by Randall in behind. Radio Scotland's most compact commentary team, Paul Mitchell, John Robertson with you here as the ball gets ready to be played from this.
Only taking up one seat here.
Opportunity for Celtic to swing the corner in front of their own fans. Turnbull plays it in. Oh, the goalkeeper wasn't getting there. Nightingale gets the header away. Yang does well then to flick the ball onto Ralston in the centre circle all the way back onto Joe Hart. Malky Mackay yelling at his team to get out. Celtic coming forward again. Here's the skipper McGregor, made his league debut just over 10 years ago. It was for Notts County And he was out on loan and then came back, and what a career he's had. Yang drives forward, he's up at the edge of the area, he's inside the box now by the byline. He's up against Randall, takes the ball outside the area, pulls it back. Here's the chance for Taylor. Taylor gets away from Danda. Outside the box, left hand side, Taylor pushes it in onto Yang. Yang sends the ball out back onto Turnbull. Turnbull gets it across onto Liam Scales, who thought he'd scored in the first half, but was ruled out for a push. Back to Cameron Carter-Vickers, whose first Celtic goal came against Ross County. Shot from distance as the ball gets played into the box. Bernardo goes in there. Great run by O as well. O got the touch away on the angle. Goalkeeper made the save. Ball outside the area it goes. He just blocked it. O again with another terrific run. Minor then tries to get in behind Puddington on that occasion. Flicked away by Allardyce. Great movement from Celtic.
Yeah, it was good patient build up this time, and they saw it early. Carter-Vickers saw the run from O, slid him down the channel, tight angle, but he's done what you have to do as a striker. He's hit the target and made Ross Laidlaw make another save.
Been plenty busy as Ross Laidlaw. Lost 6 goals in the first meeting he played against Celtic, and a 6-0 thrashing. Today's pulled off numerous good saves, but he has lost the 30th goal in his Ross County career against Celtic. Celtic leading by 1-0. Here's Alex Samuel over the halfway line, holds the ball up. It's a stocky figure, he's built well, takes the ball past his man, goes down, wins the free kick. Precisely what he's been told to do.
That's it, and it's a game plan. It's not pretty, but it's really, really effective and really, really important, because now this allows Danda to get on the ball. Already you can see Leake's been pushed up, Puddington's been pushed up. There's Baldwin on his way now as well. So they've got some big lads here that they could throw in. As I say, Celtic not the biggest side in the world, and it could cause problems.
So Jan Danda, who made such a difference when he came off the bench at Easter Road. His free kick was turned in by Alan Del Pieri, and as Tulio Wallacott came a-wandering. Can't get that one into the area. It's repelled by Celtic. Scoop back up towards the edge of the area. Scales did well to get above Leake. Celtic trying to clear. They have it through Yang. Yang tries to get past Allardyce, and Nightingale can't do so. Allardyce plays it down the side. Taylor read it. Samuel got in well to block him and gets the ball back from Ryan Leake. There's nobody in the middle though. Has to cut the ball back onto Laturi. He tries to clip it up and over Joe Hart. It goes well wide in the end, but again, good movement from Ross County, and just reminding Celtic that they're not a spent force yet.
Not at all. I'm saying Alex Samuel is an absolute buzzbomb. He will work his socks off and try and get them up the park there again. That's twice in a minute or so he's been involved. And as I say, it won't be pretty for Ross County. What they'll have to do is just work away, work these wee movements, be clever, draw fouls, and then hope that something breaks.
It's 13 appearances last season, injury hit season. As the challenge on O, 26 yards from goal, given as a free kick. Celtic have taken it quickly, but the referee's got his back to the play. O continues to chirp away at the referee, but Celtic will get to take that free kick again. Radley throws the ball away nonchalantly behind his back, flicked it away. Yang goes across to take it, and Celtic, there's one or two that like a little dig. Turnbull is in and around there, and a good goal scoring season already. The former Motherwell Academy man. McGregor stands there. Bernardo might fancy his chances. Yet to score for Celtic. Didn't score for Benfica, but regular scorer for Portuguese under-21s when he was at that level. He stands over it, 25 yards from goal. Ross Laidlaw almost all alone. Everybody's lined up just along the edge of the area. Bernardo picks up, strikes, good chance, just over the top. It goes, he looks to the heavens. The goalkeeper was scrambling across. It goes behind. Remains Ross County 0, Celtic 1.
Yeah, it's a decent enough effort. I think Ross Laidlaw is quite happy there. That he knew it was going over, but it's an outside chance, and he's had the confidence to take it. And this is a bit I don't get football. The Celtic fans have got the ball, they're hiding it. Honestly, it's a nonsense.
Yeah, just give the ball back.
Just give the ball back. And they'll throw it on when there's no need to. They'll throw it on, and it'll cause more disruption for it. But that's the tightness that comes here at the Global Energy Stadium.
Just a couple of metres between the goal line and the start of the stand. McGregor hooks the ball over his own shoulder. Samuel bundles over Taylor in his quest for the ball. Scales doesn't have to play it. It is going to be a goal kick. That's where it's been bowled into Joe Hart. Yeah, Alex Samuel has been the bowling ball. Greg Taylor has been the pin. He's been popped over a couple of times. I think he'll try and stay away from Alex Samuel for the next few minutes. He's on the ball now, leads by 1-0. Again, the mist just clears and everything comes better into focus under the lights here on a Saturday afternoon. Sports Sound, BBC Radio Scotland. Celtic looking for their 10th consecutive win against Ross County. It would be a 6 in a row here in Dingwall. Scales hooks the ball forward onto Turnbull, gets the touch, took it on the volley over his shoulder, straight at the goalkeeper. Lovely play from Scales, great positioning by Turnbull, save was made.
Brilliant pass there in from Scales, and great movement from Turnbull. He saw O's drag the defender away, he saw the gap, he's gone in there. It was a similar effort that Matt O'Reilly scored at Tynecastle recently, where it just dropped over his shoulder, and Turnbull's made good contact, but not quite as arrow-like as Riley did in Edinburgh.
That was a terrific goal to get Celtic ahead at Tynecastle in a game they expected a tougher test. It didn't come. And now Yang plays the ball on the inside. Nightingale picks up, comes out wide onto Conor Randall. Used to patrol the Tynecastle parish. Now the ball gets played forward and outside the area. Joe Hart comes, and Joe Hart takes a touch, plays the ball back on the inside to Carter Vickers as the mist starts to swirl again round the stadium. Brendan Rodgers never lost to Ross County, trying to phalange Postecoglou, who was perfect against them. As the ball comes out wide, picked up every Scottish Premiership point that was available to him against Ross County. Ball touched by O, wide to Yang, turns it back in the box. Taylor's made a great run, and the goalkeeper comes and gathers at the edge of his 6-yard box. Ross Laidlaw has it, 1-0 Celtic.
It's the same type of ball again, and it has to be absolutely perfect. Liam Scales' last one was, but it's a forced ball. You know, it's midfield men. It's Taylor that running from deep, trying to run into the holes behind them, as we said before, rather than just a bit of patience, get down and whip the ball across the face of goal. But it has to be the perfect goal. It has to be the perfectly placed pass for the perfectly placed run, and the timing has to be perfect.
Long ball played by Ross County, drifts behind, and it's going to be a goal kick, which Scales takes. Scales gets it from Hart, and now he emerges outside the box. Everybody retreating to the halfway line. It's in the navy blue of Ross County. And Celtic in the green and white hoops. Celtic moving from right to left as we watch from the back of the main stand here in Dingwall. The ball flicked up towards Maida. Good header away by Puddington. Allardyce with a beautiful little touch to get away from Ralston. Runs through Bernardo as well. Bernardo tries to recover Allardyce, and that's Callum McGregor. I think he's going to get booked for that. He did. Allardyce just got away from Callum McGregor, pops a hand up to the referee, takes the yellow card. The Celtic skipper is in the book.
Yeah, good touch from Scotty first and foremost, just to nick it away there, and then fast feet. He has got those fast feet and tried to get on it to get a pass, but he was wiped out there by Callum, and a correct decision from the referee for the yellow card.
Celtic, Rangers and Dundee are the fewest yellow cards coming into today. Celtic now lose that. They were all tied. Ross County, more yellow cards than any other team in the Scottish Premiership. They've had their first red of the season in the Premiership with the loss of James Brown. The 10 men try and come forward again. Danda sends it on the angle. Leak tries to get the header. It was high, and Carter Vickers knocks the ball behind. It's going to be a corner. Leak got the initial header, John, went after it again. He won't be too unhappy that his side have won a corner. I make that their first.
No, you saw the last one. Danda sort of miskicked his free kick. Where that one, he got it bang on. He's thrown it with lots of height and allowed the big lads to go attack it, and Leak's gone the first one, and Carter Vickers has been forced to head it away. But this is an opportunity. You look at the height now, there's 4 big lads in there to put pressure on Celtic's backline.
Celtic are thinking about changes. Picture reporter Ian Alders over that. We'll get an update in a few minutes when that happens. Here's the chance for Danda. Swing the ball in, hits the first man. Well, there's one of football's crimes. He just can't do that. Celtic will now break, and Yang sends it forward onto O. The timing of Puddington had to be perfect. He slid across, he knocked the ball into the stand. Young fan's got the ball in his hands. Doesn't want to throw it back, hasn't done so yet. In fact, he's still got it. I think he's going to try and sneak it out the stadium. Good on him. He's got another ball. As the opportunity, Celtic have a little chat. I think the fan will be convinced to try and throw it back. It's 2 balls they've got, one apiece. And here's the opportunity for the throw. Baldwin with that long looping throw. Skays was all over Leak there, Celtic gather and get the ball away. Malky Mackay explaining to the fourth official, who's Callum Scott, who's in charge of St Johnstone during the week, saying that was a foul. I have to agree with him. Not given. As the opportunity for Celtic to build again, leading by 1-0 against 10 men. Scales striding forward. Taylor available, but he's going to push it out onto Yang. Yang looks lively every time he touches it. Gets it through into Turnbull. Back towards Yang. Knocked away outside the box by Randall. Returned by Ralston. Hooked away up all the way over the halfway line. Joe Hart will gather. Here's Carter Vickers again. Picks up onto McGregor. McGregor onto Ralston. Maida's there. Not really been involved in the second half. Maida, 59 minutes played. Here's the opportunity for Celtic just outside the centre circle, inside their opponent's half. It's gathered by Carter Vickers. Carter Vickers looks to get ready, plays the ball through. Oh, tried to roll it. It's going to be touched out of play. Sliding was Puddington. Celtic will have a corner. Changes coming in.
Yeah, triple subs seem to be all the range now, Paul. A triple substitution for Celtic. Odin Holm, Kyogo and Louis Palma ready, stripped, ready for action. We're just awaiting, I think, this corner, and then they'll be introduced into the action.
Thanks, Ian. It's not bad when you can bring on Kyogo and Palma. Holm made an impact the other night as well. Celtic's corner will come from that right-hand side. David Turnbull getting ready to take it. As the brave seagull flaps itself away. Not sure you want to be in the penalty area where the ball was flying with the height of these Ross County guys. But eventually it will come. The referee just sorting out a little bit of pushing and pulling. David Turnbull resets the ball, checks his boots, steps back. The referee blows his whistle, and now the opportunity to send the ball in. Gets it across. Maida tried to get it. It's pushed away by Baldwin. Laturi outside the area tries to get a touch. Tries to send it away from Turnbull. Turnbull can't keep the ball in. It's deflected off. It has gone out of play. Here are the changes coming. So a pat on the back for Kyogo from Brendan Rodgers. So too for Holm. The changes coming. 28. Bernardo is the first to come off. John.
He's been quiet. I don't think he's had the impact that he would have liked. He's been tidying up in possession, but not really had a major impact in the game. So that one's pretty straightforward. I'd imagine Maeda might be the next one for Palmer on the right-hand side.
An arrest for David Turnbull as well.
And well, that one's a surprise. I must admit, I thought maybe it may have been Palmer one side and Kyogo maybe for O. So it'll be interesting to see what the makeup is of the front three now, because as we said, we know that Palmer will go and play wide, but Kyogo and O are both strikers. So it'll be interesting to see if either one's pushed into a slightly different position, or whether Celtic, as we said earlier, are they maybe going to try two up front? And that looks like no, it's a switch of wings for and Kyogo looks as if he's just dropping in off the front now.
So the opportunity for David Turnbull. Pop the jacket on, sit with the feet up. He's done his job again. Opening the scoring once more for Celtic as the ball gets played forward. International player David Turnbull hasn't played for Scotland since June 2022, but he'll be catching the eye as Leak gives the ball away. Kyogo wants it on the inside, but it didn't come though from Yang, and the ball knocked out of play, driven away on that occasion on that far side. So Celtic looking to stretch Ross County. Second goal really should do it for Celtic, John, should they get it, but Ross County making it tough.
Yeah, listen, the game's going how we expected it after the sending off. It's waves of Celtic attack. Say Kyogo looks as if he's playing a withdrawn role, a deeper midfield role there. Just basically like for like from Turnbull. So he'll try and look at the gaps in front of him, which is not his natural game, but he's certainly got the intelligence to play in there. But County have just got to hang in there, try and get that corner. That's the killer. They forced their corner, big chance, and as you say, Danda didn't get it past the first man to allow the big boys to attack it.
Celtic come forward, Scales onto Taylor. Here's the touch for Palmer. Short sleeve shirt, long sleeve undershirt, and the gloves as he plays the ball into the middle. Scott Allardyce with the clearance into the crowd just across our left hand side, and the throw will come from Celtic. Greg Taylor. Palmer makes himself available. Now it's thrown in. Holm gets his first touch. Really like him as a player, just wears the black boots, nothing too fancy. He gets on tries to make himself available. Great flick for the goal the other night. And Celtic try and gather. Scales into the middle. Kyogo brings it down. Good save from the goalkeeper. Breaks back onto Yang. He gets the shot away. Laidlaw is hurt. The ball was battered into his body. The save was made. He gave everything. Kyogo brought that down like a wizard. Just out of fresh air. Hammered it at the goalkeeper. Good save. The second one equally as good. Celtic will have a corner. Ross Laidlaw will need a minute.
Well, we just said that Kyogo's got the intelligence to make the runs into the spaces. That's exactly what he did there. He drifted away opposite from the ball from Liam Scales at left centre half, in behind the County defence. It looked as if it was overhit, but he somehow showed his athleticism. He got there, pulled it down, and then immediately hit the shot, which Laidlaw said it dropped to Yang, and he smashed it. And it looks like it's caught Laidlaw in a soft place, for want of a better description. It looks like just, as if it's caught him in an area that I'm sure he was hoping it wasn't going to hit him.
There's the old song, Take My Breath Away. And he's searching to try and get it back. Celtic players just in little groups and little huddles having a little chat. Ross County, well, they've scored 5 times in the last 2 games, but they've had very little chances. They'd scored just twice in the previous 6. Arguably should have beaten Motherwell, and arguably should have lost to Hibs. Hibs went with the changes a little bit early. Ross County battled back. That was their first point from a losing position this season. As Ross Laidlaw turns, gets himself, bounces himself back up, stretches out the elbow and the body and moving the wrist just to make sure he's going to be okay. Palmer's gone wide to take the corner now. Turnbull is off the field. Palmer plays it in. Almost came off the hands of Baldwin. I think it ran up his leg and pushed away. Celtic are then offside as Palmer went in. That was an awkward one for the defender. I think he was expecting a header in front of him, John.
I've actually been impressed with Celtic's corners today because, as I said earlier on, Paul, they're not the biggest team in the world, so it's not like they can just throw it into an area and have 4 or 5 big lads attack it. They know they're, Carter Vickers, Scales, are a reasonable size, so that what they've done is they've tried to create a bit of movement and whip the ball into the edge of the 6-yard box there, or outswinger, to see if one of them can get across and just nick in front of a County defender. And O's done it on a couple of occasions, so it's certainly been better for them than just throwing a big high one in the middle and say go on, try and get on the end of that.
Celtic 24 shots, 8 have been on target, 81% possession so far against the 10 men. There's the opportunity now for Baldwin to throw the ball in towards the edge of the area, headed in by Leak up towards the very edge, might fall for Laturi. 30 yards from goal, turns the ball back onto Allardyce, back to Baldwin. Baldwin can't get the ball past home, but it comes straight back to him. Now he'll scoop it up for Will Nightingale to make the chase. Nightingale can't keep the ball in, it just runs away for the man from Wandsworth, on loan from Wimbledon. Great experience, he's got over 200 games for Wimbledon. It's interesting how they're using him as that target man up front when they get the opportunity, and then he has to withdraw again to defend.
It's intelligent play, as they say, that they've not got a huge target man because they have to take Jordan White off and use the mobility of first Simon Murray and now Alex Samuel. So they've done it, and he's a spare man at times, so he can go forward when they've got the ball for them to play it to and do what they're doing, try and draw that throw in a wee bit. Unfortunately for both of them have been 40 yards, 50 yards for goal. If they could get one down nearer the 18-yard line, then I'm sure Baldwin's throw could cause a lot more problem for Celtic.
Carter Vickers striding forward, midway inside his opponent's half, still going, plays it out wide onto Yang, who's on that right hand side, round the corner onto Ralston. Ralston tracked down by Puddington, plays the ball back onto Carter Vickers, inside onto McGregor. McGregor back onto Puddington. Carter Vickers is there again. Here's the opportunity for McGregor, looks up, plays it on to Liam Scales. Scales get the chance, he's going to let fly, runs into Nightingale and the ball gets played away. Liam Scales, no goals this season. As the ball comes into Holm lays the ball off to Taylor, left hand side of the box, back onto Callum McGregor. Here's Carter Vickers, back to McGregor, 25 yards from goal, flicks it onto Taylor. Scales is available, but it'll come out wide onto Carter Vickers again. Everybody behind the ball from a Ross County perspective. Celtic leading by 1-0, pushing for a second goal, which you think would kill this match. Palmer has it outside the area, they don't want to let him in on his right boot. He's still going, gets the shot away, and it's wide. Well, the goalkeeper was rooted to the spot. If that had snuck in, there was no way the keeper was keeping it out, just off target.
Well, this is a different dynamic for them now, because whereas Yang was taking the line in the first half, Palmer's coming in on that right foot, and we've seen already that he can certainly strike one when he gets in there. And you were almost saying don't go in there, but he goes in. He's rifled it about a foot past the post, as you say. If that's on target, it's 2-0 Celtic.
So welcome listeners to BBC Radio Scotland, Engine Wave FM all together now. I'm Paul Mitchell, that's John Robertson, and with the details of the change pitch side, Ian All.
Yeah, fourth sub of the afternoon, Paul. Off comes Jan Danda, and Kyle Turner is on for the Snaggies.
Kyle Turner started against Hibs. He was withdrawn for Jan Danda. Opposite way around today as the long ball up towards the edge of the area. Carter Vickers heads the ball away. It's still only 1-0 from a Celtic perspective. They have to be tight at the back. They were on that occasion. Kyogo gets the ball away. I thought he was fouled after it. And now Jack Baldwin gets away. Takes the touch on to Luturi. Moved away from home. Now chasing down is Palmer. Baldwin can't get there. He runs the ball out of play. And that is going to be a throw-in. Good closing down by Lewis Palmer, the Honduran, and Celtic have the chance to get the ball forward once more.
Well, County are doing everything they can, and they're making it scrappy. That's what they've got to do. They're getting plenty of energy, plenty of intensity, plenty of discipline. Celtic need the second goal if they want to freewheel towards the finishing line, but right now County are doing everything they can to make sure that doesn't happen.
20 minutes to play as Randall goes in, sliding challenge down by the corner flag, knocks the ball out of play. Greg Taylor picks up, throws the ball into Palmer. Palmer gets it back on to Liam Scales. Scales plays the ball through. Clips the ball back from the edge of the box to Carter Vickers. And here's the opportunity again. He's had to come short, plays it round the corner. Kilbrook got bundled over by Will Nightingale, who then has the cheek to look surprised. That was clear when we could see it from here. The definite free kick, and it's right in the middle, 25 yards out. Palmer wants it, he's gone and gathered the ball. McGregor stands beside him. It's not the place to be giving those ones away, John.
No, and as you can see, County have produced you probably need planning permission for the size of that wall, if I'm being honest. I mean, look, they're all 6'3" in there, apart from Alex Samuel on the end there, so it's going to have to take a really quality strike. Palmer fancies it. He's certainly, very resplendent there in his black gloves with the white Under Armour. He's feeling the cold here, but this will certainly warm up. He gets this. You'd imagine he's going over the wall.
Callum McGregor just yelling at the wall. Not sure that'll do much good, but he was calling, trying to communicate with Kyogo. Palmer picks up, thumps the ball, and down goes Jack Baldwin, and he remains down. That was straight into the head, so the referee will say hold on. I think he's going to try and wave on the physio. That's Beth McIver has been called, and the Ross County players are saying no.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, I think if it is a genuine head knock, I don't think he has to come up. So you think Ebb on the side of safety, let the physios on, let him have a quick look, and and he stays on the pitch. But see, the referee's saying that he wants him on because there may be blood there as well.
Beth McIver remains at the side, so Jack Baldwin is going to come off, and he will have to get a little bit of a check.
See, this is the rule that frustrates a lot of players here, is that the Celtic free kick has hit the Ross County player. The referee's claiming it's a head knock. Celtic have got possession, but he's going to give possession back to Ross County here, which is absolutely bizarre. I don't. So any nowadays it's open to circumnavigate the rules. If you go down a head knock and just fall down. Say, I've got a head knock, you get the ball back. It's just an absolute nonsense.
Callum McGregor's making that exact point, and O's now being told to move away. So Jack Baldwin came over to the side. He handed something to the physio. Now it may have been a tooth. So it might have been a tooth knocked out. We'll do a check of that. There's something for to ask in the post-match interviews as the ball gets played forward. As the opportunity to come out. If it had a tooth knocked out, it'd be painful. As Purrington goes down, but he's standing there.
It's just a bizarre rule, though. You know what I mean?
Yes, you're right.
If you stop the game, surely we've all known it in the past. Team in possession, keep the ball, but it's open to anybody with a little bit knowledge of the rules here. You're late on, corner comes in, you've got a head on it, somebody falls down holding their head, you get the ball back. It's a wee bit of...
Yeah, it's open to being finessed. I think that's fair to say. We'll hear from Pat Bonner in a moment for the final 17 minutes of this game. Celtic pushing. It's Palmer, closed down by Samuel. Allardyce gets in there. That looked like handball against Palmer. The referee hasn't given it. If something comes of this, it will come back. Here's the opportunity for home. Blocked it into Baldwin. Baldwin did well. And now Randall rolls the ball away. Samuel tries to keep it in, does so, but presents the ball onto Liam Scales. Scales plays the ball back onto Callum McGregor. McGregor on the inside. Here comes Ralston now, driving down the middle. Back onto Scales. Scales picks up, turns it back inside onto McGregor. Brendan Rodgers getting tan animated now. Here's Kyogo, picks up, substitute, plays a lovely pass forward. Loturi presents it to Taylor as he got the intercept but gave it back. Celtic looking to gather again. Here is Callum McGregor, the 10 men. Will Nightingale leading the 10, comes out to block him. Back inside, Scales, McGregor. Out wide it goes. Good tackle by Allardyce, closing down Ralston. Celtic having to build again, being pushed further and further back here. They won't be overly concerned by that. Trying to find the right ball. It comes all the way through though by Cameron Carter-Vickers. Let's get the thoughts on the second half so far. Oh, former Celtic goalkeeper Pat Bonner.
Yeah, listen, Celtic have carried on what they did in the first half. Obviously getting the goal has settled them down a little bit. They made the changes. Palmer coming on and shows that he's got that ability to maybe go in a 1v1 situation where maybe on the other side Yang, he played in that position, he didn't really do it, and they need just somebody to open up this Ross County defence, and they've really done Malky a real job today. They've worked really, really hard, really compact. They're very good, apart from that little just moment and before half time and they were caught out, but overall they've concentrated well, they've defended in good areas and got their blocks in when they had to do it, and that was a big chance for Kyogo. I thought, we were just discussing it here in the studio, we just wondered whether with his ability could he have volleyed that first time and rather not take the chance or take the touch. It just took him into a very tight position then with the goalkeeper who came out on top. Could he have volleyed it first time across him and then get that vital second goal that Celtic probably needs? As long as this game goes on, as we know that Malky will maybe take a risk late on in the last sort of 10 minutes or so and go for it and see could he get something out of it. Better getting beat maybe 2 or 3 at that point, or getting something out of the game, which would be an incredible result for him.
Ross County trailing here. Celtic outscoring opponents 29-7 this season in the Scottish Premiership so far. Only Ross County have scored more than a single goal in the Premiership against Celtic. It came in the losing effort of 4-2 back on the 5th of August. Under 15 to play. Celtic leading by 1-0, but it's not comfortable as Scales plays the ball out wide onto Palmer. Palmer has it, he's up against Randall. Palmer looks ahead, little touch back inside onto Scales. McGregor wanted it played down the channel. Allardyce was tracking him back, so the ball wasn't played there. Carter-Vickers onto Ralston. Ralston and Kyogo, little interchange. Now the ball comes through onto home, back onto Ralston. Ralston, little back heel, clips the ball back inside to Carter-Vickers. Scales has it midway inside his opponent's half. Loturi comes to try cut the ball out, and then the pass comes through. Nightingale was strong. Loturi battling for it. Nightingale gets the ball away. Loturi with a strong challenge away from home, but Celtic pick up again. There just isn't an out ball for Ross County. Carter-Vickers steps up, plays it across. Home looks for it. He's going to try and bend it in. Great save from the goalkeeper. Got it out and just stretched out the right hand and flicked the ball up and wide.
Good movement, and Home right away. First thought, I'm going to put it in the top left-hand corner. Laidlaw done superb, but I keep thinking the same thing here, that Taylor and Ralston are doing exactly the same job that Home and Kyogo can do in the areas they're in. They're just clogging everything up. That's screaming for them to come wide and create chances.
Palmer with the opportunity, swings the ball in, it bounces to the edge of the area. Kyogo is there. Kyogo looks, tries to get the shot away straight into Purrington, and there's a chance for Randall to escape with the ball, but Palmer was coming back onside from the corner and he'll intercept. McGregor picks up, plays it to Palmer. Palmer 30 yards from goal, ball on the inside. He's going to try for the shot! That'll seal it for Celtic. There's Palmer with a stunning 30-yard strike, curled it away from the goalkeeper into the corner. Ross County 0, Celtic 2. Stunning goal.
Oh, top draw. As I said, that area again, this time it was Kyogo who's made the run wide and he's dragged the fullback out there. It's allowed Palmer to turn and go forward. 30 yards out, he's got no other thought than to hit that with the inside his right foot and get a bit of curl, dip, swerve. And unfortunately for County this time, Ross Laidlaw can do absolutely nothing about it. again, another one. Leanne and Pat explained at half-time that the new thing is there will be lots of shooting opportunities for the midfield players in the pockets, and that's the second goal today. Is exactly the same. What a strike.
Well, Ross Laidlaw could have cloned himself. Two of them would have kept that one out. It was a stunning strike. And interestingly, John, the positions that Celtic have had there tended to be Scales or Carter Vickers has had the ball in that position. They've not fancied their chances. Palmer was so cool, knew exactly what he wanted to do. And that 2-0 has made a difference. I think Celtic will now clear the bench as Kyogo's got the chance to come forward.
Yeah, I think everybody in the stadium today are waiting for Scales or Carter Vickers to unleash one, because they've certainly got actually closer to the goal than Palmer was there at times. But you just wonder now that they've got that second goal, that if the opportunity arises for either one or two, that this time they might just take it on with the knowledge that they've got a 2-goal cushion.
Changes coming for both teams. We'll get to Ian in a moment as Celtic decide not to make the change, but they'll keep the ball in play. Just over 11 minutes to go. BBC Radio Scotland, Saturday afternoon, Sports Sound. Always the place to be. Celtic will now look to win 6 in a row in Dingwall, 10 in a row against Ross County. It'll be their best spell in Dingwall as Kyogo has it, plays the ball forward. They'll run through on to Laidlaw, and it'll be gathered. Well, Ross County has scored 3 in 1,350 minutes in the Scottish Premiership at Celtic Park. They've scored 3 in the last 180 minutes there, but they have struggled to score at home. And they're going to have to find a miracle here as the goalkeeper's given the ball away long though. Picked up by Kyogo, the low shot is wide. Wasn't a great clearance by Laidlaw. Celtic pounced on it quickly. Kyogo couldn't finish.
Yeah, it was a good touch by Kogi to stop it and lay it back and go and get the return. And I think maybe it was just a bit too far from the run. You know what I mean? This time he's actually had to run 30 yards. And he's tried to take it early. He's tried to catch Ross Laidlaw out there. But very unlike him, he's scuffed it into the ground.
Pitch side for us, Ian.
Yeah, the luxury of Brendan Rodgers' bench. He is making 2 changes. Off comes Yang and Callum McGregor, and Awata and James Forrester on. Ross County also going to make a change as well. Scott High is coming on. Victor Loturi heading off.
Thank you very much. Victor Loturi off. Scott High, just a second appearance for him. Off the bench, Scottish under-21 international player will get the last 10 minutes. Here's Alex Samuel. Samuel has the opportunity. The ball's run out of play. It's going to be a throw-in to Celtic. We'll get Pat Bonner's thoughts on the goal for Lewis Palmer. That certainly will have killed the game and settled Celtic, but it was some strike, Pat.
Yeah, listen, Celtic needed that bit of quality, and we talked about him coming off and showed that he has something. That time he's drifted into that sort of inside right position. The space was there. It was about, I would say, it's probably 25 yards out when he struck it, and Leanne was saying maybe Laidlaw was a little bit off his line. It's a difficult one. He wasn't that far off. He was about 3 yards off, but maybe it's this first movement, reading the strike. Could he have then maybe sort of moved backwards a little bit to get himself into a position where he could actually maybe even get a touch on the ball, but it stepped right over him. Here's a shot at him. Just watching it here. But so from that perspective, Celtic delighted to get that second goal. It just calms him down, and I don't think it'll allow Malky to take that risk that we talked about earlier. 2 goals down, 10 men. It's very difficult to get back into this game for them.
Thanks, Pat. I had to smile there. Cameron Carter-Vickers it was with a shot. It's like, well, we're 2-0 up now, John. I can have a go, and I won't be accused of spoiling anything.
No, well, we said that. There was several opportunities in the first half, and a couple in the second half for him and Liam Scales.
Lovely ball threaded through the middle. Here's a chance for Owies away inside the area. Need to try and cut it back. Palmer wants it. Comes to the back post. Turned away by Purrington. Celtic had players in good positions and didn't make it pay. Here's Ralston trying to get the ball forward. Tomoyuki waits for it. Tomoyuki gathers again. Celtic have emptied their bench as the ball gets played forward. Taylor up at the edge of the area, had the ball touched away by High. The red boots on. Now the edge of the box. Celtic win it back. Here's Palmer once again, driving to the byline, clips the ball back. Takers for Celtic, and it's easily put in by James Forrest. James Forrest has now scored in the last 15 consecutive seasons for Celtic, a header to the back post. A little moment of history for James Forrest. Ross County 0, Celtic 3.
Yeah, I just wondered if there was a little foul in the build-up there. There was a little tangle of legs initially with Greg Taylor that they may look at, I'm not sure, but from then on there, they've got it, we said, get it in the wider areas. This time, it's a beautiful little clipped chip to the back post, and there's James Forrest again. It just comes in, beautiful header, diving header, a lost art, and that's certainly game over now.
His 21st appearance against Ross County, it's his 6th goal. He does enjoy a little goal against Ross County, and all of a sudden it looks comfortable for Celtic with just over 6 minutes to play. The scoreline, Ross County 0, Celtic 3. That might make it sound easy. It certainly hasn't been.
No, it's been hard work, and that's down to Ross County's work ethic, their honesty, their bravery to put bodies on the line. They've made it very difficult for Celtic. They forced them, bizarrely, down the centre of the pitch, and it's taken 2 long-range efforts to break them. And then there a little bit of quality to get the ball wide. It's a great pick out. Listen, the result of the game's never been in doubt from the 10th minute. But I think for Ross County to have hung into the last 10 minutes, only 1 goal down, it shows that they'll be okay this season. County, they'll be disappointed today, but it was always an uphill task.
Yeah, Malky Mackay's assembled a decent squad. Big game coming up next. There'll be St Johnstone, so a big game at the bottom of the Scottish Premiership. Big game coming up this afternoon, Kilmarnock against Motherwell. We'll have that live, and then it's off to Hampden via play semi-final. Aberdeen and Hibs head-to-head tomorrow. The Rangers take on Hearts. As the ball gets flicked forward, there's the header played away on towards Samuel. Celtic leading by 3-0. Samuel loses out here, going backwards home. Ball breaks off the referee, and the referee, it's a good touch to be fair, but he will stop play with 5 minutes to play. Brendan Rodgers breathed a little bit easier now, happy to see his side of, obviously it was a run of games, off to Madrid this week.
Yeah, listen, the Celtic, one thing you have to say is that they've been patient, probably over patient, and say they're probably over past it, and they've been very, very easy to defend away in a certain way. That they've come down the middle and they've not really mixed it up, not really forced County into the wider areas. But I think you'll be happy that since the sending off, they've been able to coast and control the game in a manner they like without actually killing it off.
Lovely play at the edge of the box by the home side. Turner gets the ball into the middle, Scales heads it away, knocked on by Tunaki. Here's the gathering ball though, coming back, Scott Allardyce. Ball gets played through again onto Cal Turner. Back it comes, Allardyce via Baldwin, good closing down, and the ball out of play. Tracking back there was all, but just took a sore one as the ball just ricocheted off him. He's just limping slightly, and he'll be all right, I'm sure. Here's the opportunity for Jack Baldwin to get the ball forward. Baldwin with the long throw. Nightingale wins the header, looking for Samuel to chase. Samuel was fouling. Liam Scales goes down. Picked back up. Celtic's opponents, Atletico Madrid, lost last night to Las Palmas, which was classed as a surprise. It'll be interesting. Celtic go there on Tuesday, resuming their Champions League campaign. Ross County will get the feet up and prepare for that game against St Johnstone. Then it's the international break, then it's Kilmarnock and St Mirren. Killie at home, and then St Mirren. So it's an interesting little time for Ross County. We'll be looking to reap some points across that opportunity. It'll be now no wins in the last 7 in the Scottish Premiership. It looks bad, but they've drawn 4 times. They now just haven't won since September the 2nd, since Simon Murray scored the goal against Kilmarnock. Celtic have it, building slowly, leading by 3-0. Tomiaki plays the ball forward. O tries to gather it. It's intercepted though, and bring it away as Allardyce. He has to turn, twist, get away from 3 Celtic players just to hold on to possession. He's going to turn, play it back to Baldwin. Baldwin will send it long, and now it takes a bounce and goes out of play past Scott High. Brendan Rodgers still standing at the edge of the technical area. Malky Mackay doing the same, urging his men on. 2 minutes to play plus stoppage time. Celtic with a little bit of history, 6 straight wins in Dingwall. They haven't done that before. They've dominated this fixture, however, and in the last 19 matches they've all had a winner. They'll be tick over to 20. Celtic 18 wins, Ross County 2. Celtic leading by 3-0. The 10 men still giving it their all. Celtic knocking the ball about pretty well here. Tomoki plays the ball through, and then Baldwin again gets it away. Tomoki Iwata off the bench for just the 4th time this season, trying to get involved. Here's Palmer, whose second goal really sealed the deal. Trying to play it on the outside to Greg Taylor. Alex Samuel working hard, turns the ball behind. It's another Celtic corner.
Yeah, that's the positive Malky will take out of it today, is that his team have given him absolutely everything. They've worked really, really hard. They've dug in there until the last 10 minutes, and it was a real bit of quality that ended up undoing them. And they say, and then you lose one, you lose another. It's just the quality that Celtic have, as Celtic fans decide to throw another ball off and then throw another ball on.
Yeah, it was thanks to the intervention by Owie, demanded that the ball be thrown back, and the Celtic support complying. I'm still trying to look if the wee lad to our right's kept the other ball that went in. As the ball comes in, almost fell in. Palmer spotted that the goalkeeper was at the back post. He tried to whip it in to the near post, very nearly did so, just over the bar.
I think there's no doubt at all that he's trying to catch him out there. You can see by his facial reactions what he's tried to do, and there's absolutely no doubt about that. But it was just the other side of the crossbar as it landed on top of the net there.
Yeah, certainly that was his intention. Callum Scott is our 4th official. Ross McLeod and Mulvaney, the 2 assistants, will reveal how much additional time is to be played. 45 minutes are now up on the watch below me. Callum Scott has a little look. He's going to hold up the boards. 5 additional minutes. Carter Vickers plays the ball forward. Holm does well. Nice touch and turn. He's racing across the halfway line. He's up towards the edge of the area. Then tried to pass the ball over to O. He had better opportunities out wider just himself.
His initial turn was superb. I mean, he just glided away there, and he's gone and gone and gone. There was an opportunity twice to put Owen and Kyogo in, and he just took that extra touch. And again, that forced pass at the end there, but wonderful play from the youngster to begin with.
Celtic leading by 3-0. They've now scored 2 or more against Ross County in the last 10 matches. They do find a way to get the goals. Liam Scales, I wonder if he'll have a dig. Now he does have a dig. He's going to send wide. It takes a low deflection, though. And then, looked to be fouling. The ball runs behind. The free kick is given. These big brave centre-halves now having a little dig from distance.
We did say that a bit, but it was, as we said earlier on, Paul, in the first half, there was at least half a dozen occasions when Carter Vickers, or mainly Carter Vickers or Scales, could have gone and had a strike from probably closer than where Palmer scored the second goal. And now that they've gone 2 and 3, they've kind of thought, oh well, I can safely have a go here. Nobody's going to give me too much stick for it. So both have had a go. I had to say Carter Vickers was a much better strike than Scales, but we'll let them debate that.
Yeah, they'll have a little word, and then Lewis Palmer will come over and say, lads, I'll show you how to do it. Celtic have it inside the Ross County half. Ross County still fighting, still getting the boots in, still trying to get the tackles in. There's been no let up in the effort of Ross County as Turner tries to close down. The ball gets knocked out of play. It's going to be a throw in to the home side. Into Baldwin. Allardyce gathers and flicks the ball all the way back onto Ross Laidlaw. Laidlaw at the edge of his area. Gets it forward. Scales can't get on the end of it. He'll run all the way through to Joe Hart, who's outside his box on the left-hand side. Hart comes up, clips the ball out of play, and almost thumps the cameraman down below us. And it will be a throw-in. You can see a good sense of team spirit amongst this Ross County side. There's been nobody moaning. There's been nobody, getting on at people.
You saw earlier on the attitude of Jordan White having to come off. He understood what was required for the team and what was necessary for the team. He accepted it. There was no histrionics at all. And his teammates have gone. Simon Murray's worked his socks off for the rest of the first half. Alex Samuels worked his socks off. And the midfield men, Allardyce and Latoure, Danda. And listen, the back 5 have blocked a lot of shots as well. So, there's not one player there that could possibly have given Malky any more. And as I say, this is the situation I think that County have been trying to get all game.
They've got a long throw. They've won it. Celtic knocked the ball out. Baldwin is going to get that long throw into the area. There's a congregation at the post, and Allardyce tries to get the shot away. Does so from the edge of the box, but up and over it goes. And Joe Hart will come and pop the ball down. Yeah, Ross County certainly strong together as a team. If you're looking for a masterclass in dysfunction, I would suggest Old Trafford's the place to be. As the ball comes on the inside, money doesn't always buy happiness. As Carter Vickers strides his way forward again. Palmer's calling for it, but come into round the corner to Kyogo. Kyogo with a chance. Goalkeeper gets the foot out with the save. Back to it's another save. Good positioning by the goalkeeper. Got himself back into the centre of the goal. It's a fine double save. Drops to his knees, yells to the heavens. He thought he was going to get on the score sheet.
He should have been on the score sheet is the answer to that. It's a great run from Kyogo. He's been slipped in. It's a good strike. Laidlaw just does enough. Gets his foot to it. It spins up there. It's dropping 9 yards out. If he gets a real good contact, he scores. He kind of kicks it, he volleys it down into the ground and gives Laidlaw the opportunity. And he's another one as well. You know, I mean, that must be double figures in terms of saves he's had to make, because and he's done that. He's done that well, you know. But he's been workmanlike today. He's worked very hard. He's been a good platform for the team. But that's the difference, that he won't start in front of Kyogo at times because he's not as clinical. If that drops to Kyogo there, it's 4-0.
Well, bit of swagger about him too. He doesn't like to get involved. He's come all the way back, takes up his defensive duties now. This should be the final action of the match. Randall breaks to the right hand side as Turner prepares to play the free kick in. Turner plays it in. It was bundled towards goal and bundled wide. It was Will Nightingale, took a deflection. It's going to be a corner for Ross County. Joe Hart trying to keep the clean sheet intact. Ross County trying to find a way past Celtic. Goals have been hard to come by at home, just 3 this season. 2 of them coming in the victory against St Johnstone. So they've not been free-flowing, free-scoring. As the ball played into the middle, Hart can't get there. It was headed away. Breaks back outside the box. Turner again tries to settle himself, goes to the byline, clips it in. Joe Hart does emerge with the ball that time. There was bodies all over the place, and Joe Hart just plucked the ball out there. He's going to throw it long, but the referee is going to decide it is all over here. Ross County and Celtic head to head for the second time this season, and for the second time this season Celtic will take all 3 points. That's 10 victories in a row now against Ross County, 6 in a row here in Dingwall. Celtic had the ball in the back of the net twice before they finally got a goal that counted. David Turnbull deep in stoppage time. James Brown had been sent off after 10 minutes for a foul on Yang, upgraded from yellow to red. Second half goal, Palmer, 12 minutes to go. Stunning curling strike, made it easier for Celtic, and then James Forrest scored for the 15th consecutive season for Celtic to round it off. It's finished in Dingwall. Ross County 0, Celtic 3.